Welcome back, welcome adventurers, it's good to see you again in this new decade. Fresh adventures await in Shiny Boys session 15. Alright, so while we wait for Quinny, could I get you guys to please roll some recap rolls for me? And I would like the closest number to 14.
Thomas?
Yeah.
I messaged you before, is that okay?
Yep.
I got a 6.
Nice. Aylin?
I got a 15.
How are you?
Actually, that's upside down. Sorry, the dot, I didn't see. It's a 9, but
Okay.
that still doesn't change anything.
Nice. Okay. Well, in that case, Aylin, could you please take it away?
I will give you my most succinct, brief summary.
They can be as detailed as you like.
I have written very many details, but that is besides the point.
Alright, let's do it.
So we pick up with the Wyvern Corpse. Captain Stronghand heads over, and we see a messenger pigeon. Baron hits it with a dagger, which is actually really impressive. Considering the speed that it's going, you know.
I think Baron rolled really well for that, which is very saddening.
I'm just thinking about the velocity of an unladen swallow versus... Anyway.
I was about to make that joke.
So we found no evidence of Colorel's presence on the atoll after a thorough search, although an inactive teleportation circle of some kind has been found deep underwater. One of our vessels was returning back and heading home. We will be staying a day longer and see if we can uncover any more information. It was unsigned and unaddressed. So assumably, it was to the captain of the ship.
Hello, perfect timing.
Now Jade. Jade is the captain now.
Congrats.
Some fun shenanigans with Dariel becoming Darren, Core becoming Karen, and Captain Stronghand is answering to Dorito now.
Oh my goodness.
Captain Stronghand also gets a personal messenger pigeon, Scarlet, and he just kind of throws the note away and doesn't tell us what it says.
Dum dum.
So then there is a side quest for let's go after this note. Drini's going to go check on Tome of Nature, who's in the infirmary, and Jade realizes sees Cloud and no Oliver, so it's become an Oliver search quest. Oliver mission, if you will. And Cloud is just always tired, and such is the life of
relatable mission.
Such is the life. So it turns out that Tome has some residue of some divination magic, and that's what's giving her the headache, and she kind of has been acting weird. Dariel decides to filch some potatoes, and Core takes some mandarins and finds the note addressed to Captain Stronghand from Lady Valentine. The heart of the Kingdom of Crystal has disappeared. Please investigate at once. I will give you further details when you see me. While you're having fun on your cruise, delegate some of your people to sort out the situation here with the king and all. There you go. So Jade tracks Oliver to the library, picking up all of his feathers as he goes. Somehow, Core and Baron are able to track Jade, even minus the feathers.
Oh, I didn't think that.
The library has changed, and there's some weird cliff-like precipices and a void that goes somewhere. But you know it's got that advanced darkness when nobody's dark vision can see through it. We end up in a corridor with a storage room where Oliver's been eating some seeds. He was spying on Tome of Nature, who was just kind of like, I don't know, vaguing out and just not all there. And Core puts a stop to... Okay, so everybody reunites We all get across the precipice into the corridor, into the storeroom. Oliver's eating the spiked sour fruit seeds. Maybe don't do that. Cor gives him a Also, Dreedy is still a fluffy white cat. And
Meow, meow, motherfucker. That's what I imagine she's thinking. She's like, these bitches, what are they doing on my boat? They're cool though. I don't know what that is. Sorry.
not at all. She's like, those seeds. If they're not supposed to be eaten, what are they for?
It's
I want to
totally
investigate
fine. Who knows?
I want to investigate them. So when she's not a cat, she will ask Jade, who is the captain. She can take the seeds and investigate them. But besides the point. Still a cat. We are trying to find where Tome went, because Cor also puts forward, that she might be being used as a vessel. So yeah, we're following that trail, and that's where we left off, at the glowing end of a corridor.
Alright, thank you very much for your recap. Fellow adventurers, welcome back. So, when last we left off, this is where we found ourselves. Running, or walking, treading carefully through a corridor with a light at the end. Unbeknownst to you what that light might be. So, going forward, if you approach the light any further, walking, as you do through the corridor, checking generally to see if there's anything suspicious, anything nefarious going on your trek to this light, you do eventually see that it's coming from behind a door at the very end of this hallway.
Can I make a nature check to see whether this light is a natural light or whether it seems like it's an unnatural color or something like that?
Sure. If you want to ascertain that specifically, go for it. If you want to check for magic preemptively, then or afterwards, then Arcana check for that.
I don't know that much about magic, so I don't think it makes Jade to do a magic check, an Arcana check. But
all right, go for nature.
I mean, okay. What about? Does it look similar to the light that I have in my chest?
The light coming from your chest is kind of a sort of magical, sort of glowy aura. It's not quite like that. If you just had to, just looking at it, it looks like something is just, it looks like the room is just lit up and you're kind of in a dark corridor. So the contrasting nature of the light kind of shining through the door, it just kind of seems like it's just lit up on the other side. It doesn't seem like it's any weird color. It's not like a blue light or anything like that. It's just kind of like a warm glow. So heading forward? Alright, so you head forward and you head up to the door. Do you go through? What is everybody doing, by the way? So, Dreedy, you're a cat. Jade, you're approaching. Yep. What order are you approaching this door in?
I think Cor was holding Dreedy the cat.
Yep.
Oh.
And using her paws to point.
Yep.
Oh.
Ariel at the back. Is Oliver with us still, or did we leave him in the?
I was under the impression that you left Oliver in the seed room.
Yes. Did we make sure to tell him not to eat any more seeds, though, right?
I don't know.
Yes.
Really
okay, yes.
That
Okay.
home. Okay.
Sure. Baron, what are you doing? Baron!
There's power issues in Sydney tonight because of the fires, so it's probably going to be worse than usual.
Okay. Good luck, guys. Baron, are you back?
Can you actually hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, before I greeted you guys and no one greeted me back, so
Oh, hi, Baron! Oh my god, I'm sorry!
no,
It's Quinny, it's nice to have you!
I joined the call at first.
We can hear you now, though.
Okay.
It was all
I am also
intentional.
marching order, but I would be close to the back because I can't see shit.
Okay, so we can say that you're, like, near the back and then Dariel's kind of behind you. And
Okay,
Darren and Barry.
If nobody else is sitting in front, I've got a glowing light in me, so I guess that makes sense.
yeah, you can approach. Also, I think Dariel is no longer in his disguise. His disguise, unfortunately, doesn't last long enough to keep going. So it's worn off now. But, Jade,
loser.
with you at the front, are you going to open the door?
First, I would like to make a perception check to look for any traps.
Alright, go for it. Actually, if you want to look for traps specifically, roll for me a survival check.
Survival?
Yeah, if you're looking for
That's
traps.
also fine. Now, I just want to say this is the first skill check I'm doing.
Ah!
How the cookie crumbles.
Alright, good luck.
It's a 2.
2?
Yeah, 5.
It's... Okay, so you're looking for traps. And it looks like the coast looks clear. Suspiciously clear. You're not so sure.
Okay, I would like to voice. The door does not appear to be trapped, but I don't necessarily trust it still.
Ellen?
Can I do a either scent or hearing based perception check?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I assist by holding Druty closer to the door?
Sure thing. Alright, if you're holding Drudy right up to the door, Drudy, you can roll with...
So, the reason I asked about scent or hearing based is because cats get those with advantage for perception.
Yeah, okay.
Now you have triple advantage.
You can roll 3 times and pick the highest number of them all!
Yeah.
Oh. Okay,
The game
well.
works like that.
Just keep adding d20s, we'll roll 5 of them.
Oh wait, you can't see it, but
Oh.
they were both 17.
Whoa, nice.
I said, hey,
All right.
what's up? Hello.
That's pretty
We're
high.
gonna stop doing this.
So then, 17 plus 6. There you go.
Okay, so with your impeccable smell and your close proximity to the door, aided by Core, you get a whiff of the smell of the room emanating through the door itself. You get kind of a smell of like it smells like a little bit like you smell paper. You smell some sort of weird kind of smells. It's hard to say exactly what. You do smell wax, like candle wax, kind of as if there's something made of wax, like a candle, burning on the other side. But past that, you don't get much of a smell of anything strange. And if you're just looking at the door looks like a door.
Is the door open?
Not yet. Not unless you guys
Oh,
open it.
I kick the door.
Alright, you kick the door. It swings open. It crashes on its hinges.
How
And before you lays a room. So, looking into this room, there's a few things here of interest. So, the room itself is lit very much by candlelight, but also, in the center of the room, the very first thing that catches your attention, in this kind of, it's not very big, it's fairly small, like an office space, or like a study or something like that. In the center of the room is like a wooden pillar, and atop the pillar floats an interesting looking magical object, the likes of which you've never seen before. It doesn't even resemble anything that you might have seen before. It kind of looks like, it's a little bit hard to describe, but if you've ever seen like a video of what like a 4-dimensional cube looks like, it's like a cube that's sort of warping and inverting on itself.
I can
kind of.
imagine that, yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
It's an entirely new shape. Like, we've never seen anything like it before. There's nothing, not like, what I'm thinking is those books where they had the different geometric shapes with the symbols. Does it
Yeah.
resemble any of those?
It doesn't really, or not specifically. I mean, I guess it's similar in the sense that like you can see cube-like shapes within this kind of cubey, sort of warpy, weird-looking thing. But past that, like anything like of this nature is something that's new to all of you.
Can I take a couple of steps towards it to see whether...
Yeah, sure.
wanna see if
I'll
we
just
can
give you the
establish-
description of everything else that you see, and then you can act
Yeah.
upon that environment as you see fit. Aside from that, sitting in the middle, and it's emanating a very soft kind of magical glow, but it's kind of matching the like the warm glow of the candles and stuff. The rest of the room, you see, it's filled with blank paper. There's a desk on one side, quills, measuring devices of sorts. You see clocks, paintbrushes, pencils, ink jars. You see bookshelves on either side of the room that are filled with scrolls and what look to be unrecognizable old maps from this distance. It looks like the place used to have a bit more stuff in it at some point, but at some point, maybe recently, a lot of it was taken out. In front of you, kind of at the other side of the room, on the big desk, there are a lot of scrolls laid out, as well as one very big scroll with some sort of clear inscription that you can see on it. Part of which is torn off, and there's also a lone feather on the desk in front of you. So, this is the room before you. What would you like? Baron, you want to inspect the feather? Jade, what did you want to do?
Investigate.
Also, I mean, you're lagging
Investigate
and
the-
you're muted.
Investigate the feather.
Okay, Baron,
Yes, Baron.
you go up to the feather, you start investigating it, so I want you to roll an investigation check. Jade, what did you want to do?
I want to make like a perimeter around this shape. I want to see how close it is, how close I can get before it looks like it does anything.
Okay, if you want to keep walking up to it and observing it as you go, it seems to just kind of chill, floating in space just above the top of this column. And it's rotating very, very slowly, very slightly. But it's not really, it doesn't seem to be reacting to you or to your presence in any sort of way. Baron, how did you roll?
Hero will see what Baron's looking
I
at
got
on the desk.
17.
17? Okay. You recognize the feather. It's pretty familiar. And it seems to resemble the feathers that may or may not have probably at some point fallen off of Tome of Nature herself.
I relay that information. Guys, it's Tome. She's been here.
This ship is weird.
I don't understand. Oliver said that. Did Oliver say that she'd been down here with him, or did she?
Yeah, he mentioned that he'd followed her to this point.
Oliver said she came down here. So she's been in this room. But she's not here now.
Can I
Did she
Arcana
say
check the
anything
cube?
to-
You can Arcana check the cube. Roll for me some
Did she say
Arcana.
anything strange to you? Greet you when you saw her?
21.
Whew,
Great,
okay.
it's still a cat.
She's still a cat. I
Okay.
don't understand the difference between animals and cats. I talk to Tiny Fury all the time, so I'm just standing there waiting for an answer.
Okay, at first, you get sort of like a jumble of almost too much information from this cube. It seems like there's a whole lot of magic being swirled into this, like, one little item here. But as you kind of, you know, focus in on it a bit more, and with your kind of prowess and experience with magic, you do get a sense of a few different schools of magic kind of emanating from this cube, and all around you, and it seems like it's almost like the same kind of magic is emanating from the walls of the ship as well. You get a sense of transmutation magic, conjuration magic, and even a little bit of abjuration magic in all of that. So it seems like it's,
Okay.
whatever it is, it seems to be emanating a pretty strong and mixed aura of many magics.
I'm gonna take like a solid 5 steps back.
Alright, you take a few steps back. And at that moment, as you take a few steps back from the cube itself kind of goes and it inverts in on itself and flips around and kind of reverts back to its normal shape. And in that moment, I would like you to roll for me a D100 and tell me what you get.
D100.
All of us or just four?
Just core.
70.
70. Alright. The room around you kind of like shakes a little bit. And you look around for a bit. And it seems like for the most part the room hasn't changed all that much. Although looking around a little bit closer, you could have sworn that the door you just walked in through was a little bit further to the left than you remember it being now.
Just realised what this means.
I run to the door.
Alright, you're onto the door.
So... We're never gonna find Oliver. This so... Hang on, Core. Do you say what that is to what you found out loud, or do you just keep it to yourself?
I think Cole's gonna be like, the door's running away, and run after the door.
It's still, I mean, you're in a kind of like a small room, so there isn't too much space to run around. But if you want to run to the door,
He's gonna like pat the door to make sure it's like the real door.
yeah, you pat the door down and roll for me an intelligence check while you do this.
I am surprisingly quite intelligent.
Let's go. Let's get some core intelligence up in here.
That's a 20.
20. Patting it down, it's a real door, and you know this is definitely the door you walked through. But you also know that you definitely walked through it just a few feet to the side of where it is right now. It looks like it's moved. Whatever the cube did, it seems to have moved the door over a bit.
I'm gonna point very accusatorily at the door like, it's moving. This door moved. It was not here a few seconds ago.
What if this cube controls the transformation? The
Maybe that's
corridors-
the thing making the corridors move.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Baron,
I wanna
while
poke it
you're...
with my stone.
Oh, sorry, I'll get to Jade in a second. Baron, while you're inspecting this feather, or having a look at the table, there are a few other things that you see that would catch your interest. There are 4 small, kind of chest-looking boxes with locks on them, as well as a major scroll in front of you, a big one, underneath all the quills and everything, that's been torn partially. And on that scroll, should you choose to look at it, you see
I
two
look at it.
diagrams. A big drawing, or a big outline, I should say, of a triangular-based pyramid, much the same sort of shape that a D4 would be, and the rock that is inside the other rock in this room. With a little arrow underneath it pointing down, with a little question mark, with another note underneath it that says something like undiscovered, very kind of rushly drawn. Then, next to it is a cube, kind of also outlined. And that also has another line underneath it. And that has a drawing of like a little horse, which seems to kind of, you think for a second like, okay, this reminds me of the horse that we've run into a few times.
It's Rainbow Dash.
It's Rainbow Dash. No, looking at it, it does, at first glance, kind of resemble the horse that you've seen run into all across Forheller Atoll, and even on this boat. But with this whole cube there, this horse down here, you realize very quickly is actually a unicorn.
Hey, it's a unicorn.
And there aren't any other notes attached to it. Now, just to the right of that, where you would expect this scroll to continue, there's a big tear, as if whatever was continuing from this point has been torn off. So that's what's in front of you. That scroll and the 4 treasure chests, which I guess if all of you are in this room, you'd all see them as well, kind of now coming to terms with your surroundings in full.
Treasure chests.
There's 4 humanoids and 1 cat.
Oh, also, I almost forgot, this is actually a really important part of this room that I forgot to mention. Next to the desk, there's a very, very big, very regal, gem-encrusted, for those of you who are good with gems, you know that these gems are fake, they're not real gems. Gem-encrusted treasure chest. It looks very important.
Do the gems look carved?
They look, to those of you who know gems, they look glass.
Boring.
And like they were kind of molded, but not so much carved out of glass.
Lol.
That's fine.
But they're very pretty. Stained glass.
Yeah.
Stained glass gems.
I still poke the thing.
Okay, you...
What I want to sort of slowly... my aim is to... We know that... I think I figured that detecting magic kind of makes it does something. So it reacts to incorporeal things. Does it react to corporeal things? Is it really there?
So, you poke it. And as you do, your hand kind of goes through it. It feels... Second.
With my quarterstaff.
Oh, sorry, your quarterstaff. So, as you poke it with your quarterstaff sort of pokes it and pokes through, kind of like as if it's poking through jelly, or like some sort of substance like that. It just kind of bloop, goes through. And in reaction to that, it does a similar thing to what it did when Core was inspecting it earlier. It kind of warps and inverts on its axis and then kind of reforms. And I want you to roll a d100 for me as well.
Okay, so it's when you sort of interact with it. This is the 90... Oh, sorry, 89.
89. Ooh, okay. So, you feel the room shake again. And then it sort of stops shaking. It's very brief. And then also, after it's finished shaking a little bit, you hear in the distance kind of a rumbling. And the whole ship kind of shakes for a bit. But then it kind of goes away. It seems like it only lasts for just a moment. As if something was let loose. No, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what it could be?
Fuck you.
But the sound after that interaction kind of goes away and all is chill again. But you very quickly, all of you notice very quickly that the door that was there is now still there. It's still there. It hasn't gone away. But there's another door next to it now. There are 2 doors in this room.
I think we should knock it over.
It changes when you interact with it, I think. Perhaps we shouldn't touch it in case we lose Oscar, and in case we lose Oliver on the other hand.
Can I turn Drudy towards you and be like, what do you think? Give her a little shake.
You see the claws kind of come out just a little bit when you start shaking her, and then she puts them back.
He's doing it very gently. He's like swaying her like a baby.
Oh.
What a good kitty.
At this point, Daryl sort of walks over to the desk as well to have a look at whatever Baron's looking at.
She does want to investigate the cube.
Alright, how would you like to do it?
Yeah. In a steady moment, just staring at it.
Okay,
Investigating
so
it.
would you like to roll for me a perception, investigation check, insight check of some kind, arcana check? What are you looking for?
Apparently, I'm looking for nothing because I'm being shaken around. It's a 1.
Okay, well, with your 1, I would still, regardless, like you to make a D100 roll for me.
Swell. 38.
Ooh, this is fun. I love my little chart of D100 stuff here. Alright, so you all instinctively, at this point, as you see the cube starting to warp, you know what's going on. You've interacted with the cube enough to have a look at the doors this time instead. So you'll, as you avert your eyes from the cube as it does its little thing from being observed, you look at the 2 doors, and the door that appears to be the one that you walked through very quickly shrinks down and is swallowed by the wall itself. The second door that appeared when Core investigated the cube, sorry, when Jade poked the cube, remains.
Okay. I
Oliver.
think I'm the captain, so I'm going to make a decision. No more
Yes, sir.
poking the cube,
Oh.
please. Shall we try poking other things in this room?
Let's
Oh.
open the chests.
Daryl turns around.
I will
I like this idea.
Yes.
Sorry, Baron, what did you
use
say?
Paul's idea first.
I'm gonna try and open.
Alright, Baron, so if Core and Baron, if you're both opening chests, there's 4 to pick from. Which chests would you like to try open?
What do they look
Number
like?
4.
Number 4? Alright, number 4,
Number
going.
3.
Number 3, alright.
I'll be number 1.
Number 1, alright, Jade, you try open number 1. Core, you're opening number 4.
3. 3.
3, sorry,
Four.
number 3. And Baron,
Baron.
you're doing number 4. Dreedy, would you like to open a chest as well?
She's a cat.
Oh, Dree's a cat, yeah, true. I think Dariel's gonna try
Oh,
open
oh.
chest number 2.
Yeah, I was going to say Dario could be good.
Alright, so Jade, opening chest number 1, I think it was. I'm already starting to forget. You open up. You attempt to open a chest with the lock. It's unlocked, it turns out, and you open it, and you find inside a ring, which you don't really recognize, but it's kind of weird looking. It looks like it's got a little brain carved into it.
I know what this is.
Core, if you're looking at this ring,
I know what this is! Yeah, okay.
alright, well,
Alright.
for those of you who recognize it, we'll just say that you recognize it because you know what it is. It's
Neff
very.
must have dropped it on her way through.
I wonder what left. I have a peek between the planes and see a purple tiefling.
Alright,
Crossover game will happen one day.
Dariel
I
opens.
was actually
Yeah, that's aside from that. There's nothing else in the chest. It's kind of small. It's like a lunchbox-sized chest. It's kind of disappointing. There's nothing else inside. And maybe Jay doesn't necessarily recognize what this ring is or what it does. Now, second box, which is opened by Dariel, he pulls out a bunch of tools, like some measuring stuff, whatever. He's pulled out some cartographer's tools, which
Oh, cool.
which can do
Wow.
interesting stuff. According to, I'll bring it up after we've done the. Actually, no, I'll bring it up now because I've got this bad boy that I've gotten.
So good. Yes.
It's
I
really
love
good.
dinosaurs.
My dad had me for Kris Kringle for Christmas, and he got me this.
Kringle.
I didn't tell him that I wanted a D. I didn't tell him anything. He just knew or something. I don't know. It's crazy. Okay, so
I'm trying to get a way to put these in my luggage to bring to Japan because I love them so much. But how do I choose which ones to bring? I can only bring like 2 or 1.
well, just take photos of every page, and then you have a digital copy. Okay, no. So the cartographer's tools. I won't really go into everything, but basically, if anyone wants to borrow these, or anyone who knows what these do, you can use these to determine a map's age, its origin, estimate a direction and distance to some landmark, so it helps you like figure out the kind of scale, whatever. You can discern whether or not a map is actually fake, and you can fill in missing parts of maps, as well as a few other things.
Wow, Dario.
So
What a good find.
he looks very after observing the ring that Jade has picked up. He seems very bemused by his discovery.
Same.
Core, you try to open... Okay, hold on. Let me put this back over here. Core, you try to open your chest, the third chest. And it's locked.
I throw it on the floor.
You throw the chest on the floor. And as you do, the paper kind of ruffles around the desk. And you do kind of get a glimpse of something shiny on the desk as you do this.
Can I assist Core with my strong?
Do you want to chuck the chest?
Yeah.
What's
Alright, go for it.
Throw Core, and then he throws.
Alright, you throw Core
chest
and
to
Core
the-
throws the thing. The combined velocity.
The combined velocity of Core against a wall.
But I wanted to look at the shiny.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was still locked.
No, it is still locked. But there is something
Another
shiny
eye.
that's behind the chest on the desk. And you observe...
I'm
you-
like, hold up.
Before,
Okay,
before you
I'm
get
in
chucked by
position.
Jade,
Before I get
you
shot.
quickly observe, you move some of the papers out of the way, and you find a key. A little key.
Uh-huh.
It's about as
Try to use it
little...
on the chest.
It's as little and as quaint as the chest. And you try use it on the chest. And it fidgets a bit. Seems a bit hard to put through. You start to doubt whether or not this key is made for this chest. It seems to not be giving way. But then it kind of clicks and it...
I never
pulls through.
did.
And you open the chest. And you find something interesting. So I will get right back to what you found. So let's quickly jump to Baron. Baron, your chest, the fourth one that you've opened. You pick up a potion. And it looks a bit different to all the other
Boring.
potions that you've kind of come across. Now, how maybe Baron would have actually come across something like this in his time at Capital, let's say. So, roll for me an intelligence check to see if you know. Or Arcana check, I'll let either one
Okay.
slide, because this is a potion specifically. To see if you know what this
it doesn't
is.
really matter because I got a 5.
A 5?
That's
You
it,
don't...
friendly.
It's hard to say. It looks kind of familiar, but not familiar as in the sense of like, oh, we've come across this recently in our journeys in any of the Shiny Boy sessions so far. But more like, I think I might have seen this at some point being sold somewhere, maybe in my past, who knows. But you don't really recognize it, let's say. Now, Treaty.
Okay. Well, my Discord crashed. Did Core put
Mine,
Trudy on
actually.
the desk?
Yep. Okay, so you're browsing the desk.
Oh, say, did Core put Trudy on the desk?
He probably put her on his shoulder and then he threw the box, so if she wanted to fall off, that's fine.
Yeah, let's say maybe she like leapt onto the desk. Can she do maybe like an Arcana check to see what that medicine is? Or nope, potion is?
Yeah,
See
sure,
if she
go
might
for it.
recognize it.
Yeah, you can do Arcana, History, Insight. You're kind of around this stuff a bit more, so this is something that would be closer to your heart.
Yes. Okay. So that will be an 18.
18? Okay, you recognize this potion, actually. It's not one that you've come across very frequently. It's not a very commonly used potion, but you especially do recognize this. It's a potion of animal friendship.
Cute.
Okay. So that's a potion I picked up.
Yeah, that's the potion you picked up. Now, Baron, you don't yet know this, but Vajriti, that's up
Yeah.
to you if you'd like to divulge that information at some point when you're...
Okay.
The room is still small and she is still a cat.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Alright. Time for Core's interesting thing. I've snuck in something annoying into this game. Alright, so you find in your locked box
I'm leaving the call if it's a My Little Pony comic. I'm sorry.
is not... Stop it! No, it's not. Okay, it's not.
I want to have you before we move on. I do want to have you know I am doing a little sketch of Jade throwing Core.
Yeeting core.
Alright, you find issue 85. No, okay.
Bye.
I couldn't help myself. Okay.
Thomas, I was going to tell you later, but it is a trust circle between us moment, and if I can find the thing I want to show you, I'll tell you what it is later. It's very
Excuse me. You
Okay.
can't do this in front of other people. I have a secret, but I'm not going to tell anyone else. I hate it when you do this.
Thomas,
And Ugh.
I can only. The law of the land says that I can only reveal this to Thomas.
Okay.
My
Alright.
hatred of you just surpassed love. It's going.
Ouch!
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
close
Well,
to
Thomas,
let's.
I have a secret. I don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I have a secret you can't know.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so Core, you find
Yes.
a note. You find a note, a little piece of paper
Mhm.
with a note written on it, or I guess it is a note, and it has. Is it a note? Can a note have a note written on it? You find a message. Now, what it says on there is you read it, and it's in a language you can understand. It's written in the ancient old language of Common, so you do recognize what this says.
How
Now,
common.
if you're reading it, this is what it says to you. Speak aloud to the pillar. The answer to my puzzle. Now this is I like that you mentioned ponies because this is not too far from it now that I realize this. But anyway, okay. It continues. Unicorns from the town of Utopia always tell the truth, as do Pegasi from the town of Paradise, sorry. Those who leave to live in other towns always lie. You come across a unicorn and a Pegasus. The unicorn says, "We come from the same town." The Pegasus in turn replies, "No, we don't. Where do they each come from?" And I will send this into
Can
the
you
chat
type
because
that
I realized.
Yeah, can you send it in text?
Yeah, I'm going to send it in text because I do realize that it's a little bit convoluted to just hear that. Fingerprint not recognized. Clean my device. Alright, fine. It's just. Hello, Thomas Farrack. Alright, thank you very much. Let's just open up this thing over here. How are you guys doing? You guys enjoying yourselves? It's nice to finally see you guys after all a year of not having.
I was tired and now I'm just angry.
Yeah, my bad jokes will do that. But I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate you all and love you very much for always making time for the session. It means a lot to me. This is a really good image.
What we got?
Alright, let me just launch Discord on my laptop where I have this
Let
note
me just
written.
launch Core.
Let me launch Core.
I'll launch you first.
Okay, starting Discord. Hell yeah. Let me just open up. What's new? Don't tell. I don't. Okay, it's just had an update. New audio. No, don't switch. Don't switch device. No. Okay. Okay. Cool. Let me just send this here. Okay. I think that's the whole point. It actually looks shorter when I paste it there. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Okay. Cool. So there you go. Core, if you choose to divulge this with the rest of the group, feel free. Otherwise, this is now in your hands.
Yeah, I read it aloud to the group.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Oh, one second.
Unicorns from the town of Utopia always tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Pegasi from the town of Paradise. Those who leave to live in.
Utopia, then.
Yeah. Yeah, because
I feel like I'm overthinking.
Would be.
I think it's Utopia. They
Well,
come from the same town. The unicorn
say-
would be from the same
saying
town.
Yeah, tell the truth. But that doesn't mean that they only come from this town. They can come from other towns.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, is someone else there?
I'm like, sorry. I was like explaining it to Bernie, who's looking.
Hello, Bernie.
hello.
hi. I was really interested in this this puzzle.
Dungeons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to D&D, where we solve puzzles.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Thank you.
I'm usually good at riddles, but my brain is not working today.
Okay, no, you have to assume,
Yes.
like, put every single possibility in and see if they like make sense.
Yeah. So
It's
we
one
come
of
from the
those
same-
riddles.
So the unicorn would be from Utopia if they come from the same town, and if that's the case, then the Pegasus
Yeah.
would say, "No, yes, we do," because the Pegasus can't be from Utopia, right? So it's saying no, we don't. Therefore, it must be Utopia. I can't explain it in my brain, but I think you're right.
Like,
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
get it.
so they're both Utopia, but like, assume.
Mm,
Did the
That-
Pegasus left? Okay, yeah.
So,
okay.
if you guys have your
Is Brian
answer,
want to do the honors? Baron, if you say that's the answer. Thank you.
Wait, let me think of other stuff.
Okay.
So, if the unicorn was from paradise, then he would be lying. That means that it has to be both Utopia. Okay, that's the answer.
Utopia.
Alright, so who's gonna do the honors of speaking to whatever the pillar is? It's written with a capital P as well.
We'll get Darren to do it.
Yeah.
Dario looks like he's contemplating the puzzle, still like he hasn't quite figured it out. And
Yeah.
oh no, he's
To
he's
meow
lost.
at it.
Oh, I don't quite know the answer. He rolled really bad on his intelligence. What do you think is the answer to this puzzle? I know the answer. I'm just asking you to double check my answer.
They're both from Utopia.
They're both from and if they're yep, that's what I had. That's definitely what I was thinking of. Okay.
Joke's on you, it's wrong.
What's the pillar?
Just testing you.
Is the pillar the cube?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well,
Such an uncharacteristically casual.
okay. I'll walk up to the pillar. Whatever. If this is the hello pillar. He says to the cube, and as he does that, I'm gonna get him to roll a d100 too. As he greets the pillar.
Don't poke it,
Ooh.
please.
Poke it.
Okay.
Poke it.
So he hasn't poked it, but just by saying hello, the cube itself morphs again. And so before there was one door which you came through, then it moved, then another door appeared, then the original door disappeared. And now this second door is also going to disappear. And now you have no doors in this room anymore.
God damn it.
He hasn't noticed yet, but he then says, "They're both from Utopia," in a very unsure voice. And the cube itself doesn't seem to react to that. The pillar, as it might be. However, there is a small compartment now that suddenly goes and unlocks that you didn't notice before because it was really hidden and out of the way, and nobody really inspected the pillar, the totem that it sat upon. Anyway, but that unlocks. There's a little drawer there now, and he just kind of notices it and looks around at you all, motioning as if questioning whether or not he should be reaching for it, kind of looking around if anybody's
To
going
the
to stop him.
drawer.
Okay, I'll open this, and he grabs kind of like a little groove in the wood that's very hard to spot if you're not looking for it, and he pulls the drawer, and inside is a very fabulous looking shiny key, and it's a very big boy. It seems to be encrusted with gems. He can't tell that they're actually not gems, and it's just tinted glass, but he seems very intrigued by it. He just kind of hands it over to whoever's going to take it from him. So there's a key.
Take it.
Baron, do you take it?
Yes, and I try to inspect to see if it's something I recognize.
Alright, roll for me an investigation check.
Oh. 18?
Did you say 18?
13.
13, okay, sorry. So, it's a key, and it looks like, from your experience, this matches keys in the past that you've found that unlock things, like locks, and locked items, and chests. Now, this specific key, it does key things, probably. It seems like it's not a fake key, from what you can tell. It matches, it seems to have the characteristics of a very real key. Now, this specific key isn't one that you recognize from, like, your arsenal of keys that you've had in your past and things that you've used to unlock that have been, personal to you. This is a brand new key. Maybe not brand new in the sense that it was recently manufactured, but it's new to you, and that in of itself is kind of fun. Aside from that, you can't really gain much more from the key. Baron, hello.
Yes.
Hello. Hi, what would you like to do?
No. I say, can't tell what it really is. Can someone else?
I'll take
Who's
it.
honest?
Alright, Core, you take it.
I want to
Disgusted by
just
the
be like
glass.
ready by core in case anything happens. I am concerned for my well-being.
Can I investigate it?
Yeah, sure.
10. Not very good.
10. Looks like a key. It looks like it's less expensive to make than it looks like how it is presented. It seems like it's overcompensating for its
Cheap key.
kind of, yeah. But it seems to kind of match the devilishly
Has anyone-
unfabulous chest. Yeah.
Has anyone tried to open that chest yet?
Daryl shakes his head.
No one? No one? Okay, I'm going.
Oh, I'm standing right. I'm like looming with my staff because I don't trust this fake gem chest.
Don't trust the fake gems.
Gem bearing.
Alright. So you go over to the chest. You just stick it in and you're turning and you're trying to unlock the chest?
Yep.
Alright. So you put it in. You turn the key. And I want you to make a wisdom saving. No, okay, no. It
No!
unlocks. It unlocks the chest.
I have good wisdom, it's fine.
No.
Now inside, let me just hold on very quickly. The video starts to load as you're unlocking this chest. It is this
is a
chest.
new save point.
Okay, so you've entered a new loading zone and you've saved the game. Now, this very big ominous chest decorated with fake gemstones. You open it and it contains one thing. It's hard to tell what it is from looking at it from above, but it's a very regal looking cloak of some kind. Maybe a cape.
Cool. Can I put it on?
Yeah, sure.
Can I investigate? Can I try and grab it? Just investigate it before, like maybe something.
You can try
Just
go
to
from
make-
core. Core, you might actually recognize what this is, I reckon. So roll for
Let me
me
check.
either Arcana or intelligence or insight or history. Any one of those
In
four.
that moment, I would like to roll an Arcana check.
I'll do
Alright.
Arcana as well because I'm better at it.
I know. I just want to make sure
What's
it's safe. I'm not trying to stop you getting it. I'm just trying to make sure that it's not going to kill.
13
Yep.
plus 5, 18.
18?
Oh, mine's only a 13.
Alright, so to the both of you, it feels very, very magical and very, very powerful. I actually, Loki, don't know what kind of school of magic this would be. But, Core, it seems, and maybe even to Jade slightly, the magic that was emanating from, this is the best way I can describe it without just like giving stuff away, but the magic that seems to be emanating from this cape, this fabulous looking cape, this purple and gold, seems to kind of remind you a little bit of the same kind of magic that was emanating from the massive, massive teleportation circle in the middle of Rahela Atoll, which is what you suspect is down there.
Hmm.
And it only takes a little bit of time. Now, Jade, you might not recognize exactly what this item is, but you do get that sort of magical feeling from it because you were around the teleportation circle. It is general vicinity, because that thing was massive, so you do recognize that the magic is similar. Whatever magic teleportation circle is used, I don't actually know which school of magic that is, but it's that kind of magic. Now, Core, after a little bit of pondering, you do actually recognize what this item is. It is something that you've heard about. It's not something you've ever seen anyone own or use or wear, but you've known of its existence because it's a kind of a noteworthy item.
I'm a wizard boy.
It is.
Vibration.
After a little bit of thinking, you're thinking, is this a cape of? No, it couldn't be. Oh my goodness, what is it doing on this ship? It's a cape of the mountebank.
Of the what?
Cape of the mountain bank. How do you spell this? This is like Mount Bank. So, let me just tell you what this does because this is kind of a cool
Okay.
item. Let me just find it because I have it listed here.
Can you send it to me?
I will send it in the group
Cheers.
right now.
I'm still putting it on.
Trolley.
Don't know what it does, still putting it on.
You will find out soon.
It turns you into Nightcrawler once a day, essentially.
No. This is the thing.
Oh, that's funny.
So
It's Ellie's cape from Pebble Posse.
Yeah.
So there you go. This is what that item is.
Cool. It's mine. I put it on. I love purple and gold.
It's good. It looks fabulous on you.
He does like a swish. Jade, what do you think?
It terrifies me.
But it's so fashionable.
Mm. Okay. I also found this ring.
Can I Arcana check the ring?
Sure. You can Arcana check it with are you checking for what kind of magic emanates from the ring, or are you trying to recognize what the ring is? Or both?
Probably similar to what I did to the cape.
Sure, I'll let you roll it with advantage because you've probably come across this exact item before in your past.
I need advantage because I just rolled a 3. And I rolled a 14.
14?
That
Okay.
is 19.
19. Okay, so you get a very strong sense of... Now, just looking at it, you get an immediate sort of like, I think I know what this ring is. I think I recognize this from just having come across it in the past at some point. And your Arcana check solidifies that sort of notion in your head. As you get the sense of a strong abjuration magic emanating from the ring, it's very quickly confirmed to you, for the most part, that this is probably a ring of mind shielding.
Wow, wasn't expecting that. That was a surprise.
Wow.
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 Thanks. Cool. I take Jade's finger and try and put it on.
I don't. Do you,
You want
explain
it.
what it does?
You want this. You want this.
I don't want it.
Trust me, you want this.
No, I really don't.
Jade! Trust me, come on.
No, you don't understand. I don't want it.
Why?
Yes. It's hard to explain.
Can I insight check Jade?
So,
Yeah, sure. I'll allow an insight check. Jade is up.
16.
Jade, I'm gonna let you set DC for this.
Sorry,
I'll let you decide whether or not, or how much
16.
information gets quotes from you. It's up to you.
I think you can tell that there's something on his mind, because you know him so well. He looks like he's a bit apprehensive of putting it on, but not because he's scared of it in the same way he's freaked out by the click. Maybe.
Okay, how about this? I'll put the ring on, and when you want it, I'll give it to you. Because I already have a nice ring, so. Cool puts the ring on.
Alright, cool puts the ring on. So, you find yourselves in this room, having done all this stuff. There are still a few kind of random things around if you choose to investigate anything else, but you do very quickly kind of remember that there aren't any doors around anymore.
Someone else pokes the cube.
The cube again. From now on, we poke only if we have the cube to give us direction. Fine, I poke it.
Alright, you poke it. Roll for me, D100.
36.
Ooh, shoot. Okay. You feel a rumbling again.
An abalone bursts through the door.
This time, the room rumbles a lot more violently than it did in previous times. And you can see this happening before your eyes as that sort of happens. Now, on one side, the room is just kind of shaking, but on the other side, the bookshelf is like almost tipping over. And you very quickly realize it's being pushed by the wall, and the whole room shrinks by about 5 feet from one side.
Great.
You approach. I go up to the wall and punch.
You
I
punch.
want to go to where our door used to be and punch.
Alright, you go to where your door used to be, and you punch. Roll for me a strength check if you're trying to break through the wall.
Yeah! Unlimited power! 17! 18!
18? Alright. You punch the wall. And as the wood sort of starts to begin to crack, you immediately realize this is a lot stronger than any of the other walls that you've ever come across. And I want you to make for me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, I think it's going to be fine, but I don't know. Let me go back to my... Sorry, I was looking at the ring of mine to make sure I knew what it did. Where is Jade? Okay, it's 13 plus... My page is loading. 2. So 15.
Okay. As you punch the wall, you get kind of this very strange sensation come over you. But you're not harmed or you're not affected by anything. It just seems like you get a very sort of visceral, almost magic reaction from the wall itself. As if...
Chipped?
Second.
Have I chipped on my hand?
No. It's kind of like you're punching a wooden wall with like steel on the other side of it or something. It's like, it
Right.
seems like it's not quite gonna break from just punching through it, which is bizarre, but the wood seems to splinter a bit.
Okay. We form a circle around the cube.
Can I throw an empty
Okay.
chest through the cube?
Sure, you can throw an empty chest through the cube, go for it.
I do this.
Alright, you throw it, and its velocity is kind of slowed down a little bit as it kind of goes straight through the cube. It kind of makes a sort of bloom sound as you kind of throw it through, and it kind of just droops and falls off onto the other side. And the cube itself, in reaction to the chest being thrown through it, kind of morphs again. And I want you to roll for me D100.
70 again.
70. Ooh! Okay. So, as you do that, you very quickly, out of in your peripheral vision, and Jade right in front of you, a door reappears, kind of growing out of nowhere, emerging from the wall, from like the ground below you.
Immediately. This is
Alright.
going away from us.
Alright, you open the door, and you're facing a closet, basically. There's some shelving on the walls, it's very small, it's completely empty, very dusty, except for one thing in front of you. On one of the shelves is a pair of glasses. And as far as you can tell, without having investigated the room or anything like that, that's all that seems to be inside here. It's very dark, very dusty, seems like it's been left alone.
Is it a fake room? Is it like, do the glasses help me see better?
If you put on the glasses, let's have a look just very quickly.
It's Ender's glasses. He's also been here.
You put on the glasses, and you can't immediately tell much of a difference. You just sort of put them on, and they seem like reading glasses or something. But as you look around, you notice that your vision is just kind of, it feels really good, like very crystal clear. As glasses probably should function, but this seems a bit more than usual. You didn't think that you had any problem with eyesight, but you feel like you can see, like looking around, you can see like the inscriptions and words on pages from all the way across the room, from even this from this closet here. And you've picked up a magical item, my friend. Now, maybe you don't necessarily know what these are, by name at least, but these are the Eyes of the Eagle.
Eyes of the Eagle?
So I'll send this in the
I
chat.
feel like we need to do a loot bundle at the end of this and figure out who's best for what. Cool.
I can paste all the things at the end if you guys like, but this is what you pick up. Aside from that, doesn't seem there's anything else in the room. Not of interest anyway.
Okay. I take them off, look over to Baron and Driti. This might be good for one of you two. But then I go back to the closet and I'm like, what do? We poke
Get
again.
in the closet, Jade.
So are you in the closet or you want to poke the cube again?
I'll
We
throw
poke
another box through the cube. If Jade's not in the
Yeah.
closet. If Jade
Not
steps
Wait, if
out of
Jade
the
is
closet-
or is not in the closet?
If Jade steps out of the closet.
Okay.
But
Alright.
what happens if I... No, that's a stupid idea. Yeah, I step out of it.
I actually kind of like that idea, but...
So
Okay.
do I. But I feel like Jade wouldn't do it. He's not chaotic enough for this.
Alright. As you're sort of... Okay, while you're in there, before you throw your thing, Dariel's kind of going to go investigate as well, and he sort of looks around, and he looks at the glasses. Do you know who... Is that all that was in his closet? And he kind of looks around, bewildered.
Is it not normal to have a closet just for parents?
BRB.
It sounds excessive. But,
This whole thing seems a bit excessive to me.
well, that might be true, yes. If you're just gonna take those, I'm just gonna have a look around, because it seems kind of suspicious that only glasses are here. And he's gonna kind of start taking a look around and snooping around a bit.
I will assist you by standing behind you and staring.
Alright, you stare. You look out for
you-
anything. And he kind of shuffles around for a bit, kind of dusts off the shelves, looks at the shelves. And after about a minute of searching, he very quickly grows bored and says, okay, I don't think there's anything else in here. And he kind of moves away.
Can I make an insight check? Has he... I don't trust this dude.
Alright, you want to make an insight check? Go for it.
Yeah, not very good.
Not very good?
Less than 10.
Okay, with your roll, as far as you can tell, he seems like he's disinterested in the room, although he did kind of look around.
It's a 9, but I don't know. It's not...
Yeah,
That's
he
not
was
really good
he's
insight.
looking pretty thoroughly, but from insight checking him with that roll, you didn't kind of notice him notice anything. So if he did, then he either didn't notice anything, or he pulled a good enough poker face that you didn't notice him wince or anything like that. We'll say.
Okay,
Now,
that's fine. Then
he
I'm
moves
gonna
out
get
of the room.
wait
So
to hear the thing.
after he leaves, Core, if you'd like to, then you throw your chest through the cube again, which I'm just gonna say is what Core does because that's the last thing he did before he disappeared. Now, as he throws the chest through the cube once more, the cube does its magic weirdness, and the chest kind of bloops through the cube. And we'll wait for a second for Lily to get back because I need her to get through. I need her to roll a d100 for me. So you know what?
Does one of us want to do it by proxy?
Nah, it would not be tradition. Is there anything else that you guys would have wanted to do in this room, of like in terms of investigating or
I'll make a
anything?
perception check then.
All right, go for it. Perception check.
I'm rolling like real bad today. 14.
14. Queenie, did you say something?
No, I didn't.
Okay, just checking. All right, 14 is not too bad. You get a look around, and you're kind of noticing more that there seems to have been somebody tampering with this room. As in, there are shelves that have scrolls and all that stuff, and it's all stacked very neatly and stuff. But it seems like a lot of it seems like a lot of stuff that would have been here at some point has been taken away, because there's a lot of dust all around the room, as if this place hasn't been touched in a long time. But there are a lot of patches on the bookshelves, especially, where there isn't any dust at all. You're just kind of noticing that, and you know, you're kind of one with nature, so this is something that would come to you naturally anyway, seeing this sort of thing. You do get the feeling that a lot of what was here must have been taken at some point by somebody.
Then why didn't they take the chest? This is all confusing to me. Can I find it? Can I see anything with a name?
Anything with a
Something that would
what?
Give an idea of who used this room. Something with a name on it to give us any idea.
Oh,
of who
okay.
used this room.
So you're looking for like personal artifacts. Alright, so you look around, and I want you to roll for me an investigation check if you're doing that. If you're ruffling through the papers, looking at the scrolls, looking at these old maps that are lying around.
Okay.
Nice.
You can. Go for it.
Okay.
So Dreedy's helping you look, so you can roll with advantage. Welcome
So
back.
14.
Okay, so Jade, did you say 13?
14.
14?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking around, and specifically looking for things that have some sort of indication of who used to use this room. You very quickly realize that any sort of personal artifact seems to have been taken away. In fact, you're kind of getting the idea that maybe that's what was taken out of this room at some point for some reason. And all of the stuff that's been left behind is very impersonal. The map itself, the whole desk in front of you, is very much kind of dust-free, so it seems like whoever was here last.
For a false drawer in the desk.
Say again.
I want to look for a false drawer in the desk.
For a false drawer? Okay.
Is there a personal compartment that might not have been pillaged?
Alright, so if you're kind of looking around for that, and you're looking underneath the desk and stuff like that, you do find something. You do find kind of a compartment that was kind of out of the way. The DC was just a little bit higher, but you do find it if you're looking for it specifically. Opening that, you do find some personal memorabilia. And you very quickly realize who might have used this room at some point. Because you do find some personal photos. And you see pictures of a small family and a much younger looking captain who is now deceased. You see him, you see who you presume to be his partner, and maybe possibly their child. It's hard necessarily to say, but you do definitely recognize the captain. Aside from that, there aren't really any other personal artifacts in here. It just seems like that was a little stash to have some personal photos, but there aren't any letters or anything like that either. Looking in that compartment specifically, you do also notice that it's kind of, for the most part, dust-free, although you can't necessarily tell with your investigation roll whether or not that's because it's out of the way and dust just doesn't make its way there, or whether or not it's been ransacked as well.
This doesn't make sense. Whoever took personal items from this room wasn't the captain, because the captain would know this was here, and if the goal was to remove any personal trait, he would have taken them as well. So therefore, someone else came in and took the personal items to cover his track. And we have the feather, which means that we know Tome of Nature at least has been in here, so they know but they're not lying. 3T, are you still a cat? Can we? Do you want
Has it
to
been an
do
hour
this
yet?
now?
Wait, hang on. Has it been 2 hours
There's
yet?
still
It's
two.
2 hours now.
2 hours? Wait, when did you transform into a cat?
Wait. It would have been right when we got into the library.
Oh yeah, then it's been over 2 hours.
Okay, then yeah. No, she is no longer a cat. She is.
Well, then
Now
I say that to Driti, seeing as she's the most of.
Driti's
present
back.
one at the moment.
Also, as this is
Driti,
happening...
did Tome-
Oh, sorry, you go.
Sorry.
Driti, did Tome of Nature say anything to you about?
She said that she was blanking out and there was some divination magic in causing a headache.
Then what if someone was making her come down? She might not know
Perhaps she
anything.
still has the items on the hand that was removed.
Or at least knows where they are. Perhaps she should be one wearing that ring. For now. Okay. We've got a lot to think about, but also I'm very concerned. Shall we try getting out again?
A lot of that just cut out.
Agree.
Shall we try getting out again is all I just said.
Well, while this is happening, Core, as you throw your... If you still choose to do this, when you throw your...
Yeah, I'm not paying attention to that. I'm throwing a box through the thing.
Alright, you throw a box through the thing, it gloops as it makes its way through, and the cube switches, transforms, transfixes itself into its place where it used to be. And I want you to roll for me a D100.
Yep, I just rolled another 70.
Another 70.
No!
Okay. You watch, this time very carefully, the wall, where it seems like the doors have appeared and stuff. And with your roll, the room shakes. It doesn't shake as violently as it did the one time the wall collapsed, or almost collapsed, didn't you? So that's kind of good. You watch the open closet, and you watch, kind of transfixed in awe almost, as the door and the closet itself slowly starts to creep across the wall a little bit, and it moves about a foot before it stops.
Right, I throw the box again.
Alright, you pick up the box, you throw it again, and the cube does its thing. Roll for me another D100.
80.
80. Alright, this time, that door stays still, and kind of just next to it, to the right of this door, a new door grows. And this looks a lot more similar, or a lot more familiar, to the door that you walked through originally.
Okay, I open the door.
You open the door, and you see before you the corridor that you walked through to get here originally.
It's below this popsicle stand.
Oliver. I go to Oliver.
Alright, so if you guys are just walking straight back down, it's pretty dark, but Jade is kind of glowing up the way. It still seems like it's unlit for the most part. And also if the door is open, you get a bit of light coming from the room itself, because there are a lot of candles and it's just kind of lit up. Actually, I forgot to mention that, yeah, there's a lot of candles. A lot of candles in the room. So if anyone wants to steal a candle, this is the opportune time to do so. Anyway, you guys walk down the corridor, back to where you came. You kind of go back to the point where there's a fork and the path splits in 3, and you walk back down the corridor where there's heaps of doors on either side, and you make your way down to the door, which, Jade, you specifically remember especially, as being the one that was hard to open where Oliver was waiting. And you make your way through. And you open the door, and Oliver's just kind of lying down, looking like he's trying to make a snow angel in the wood, bored out of his mind. And as he sees all of you kind of triumphantly, or, well, however you decide to walk through the door, as you walk through, having just come back from this mini-adventure, he kind of gets up with glee and kind of runs over to you all. And looks expectantly.
Hello.
Hi. Where did you go?
Yes. I looked to the others. Where in the house? How do you begin?
We went on a magical adventure. you want a ring? Core gives Oliver the ring of mind shielding.
Ah,
I think I'm just gonna take that before Oliver gets it. I'll put it around my neck, a loop or something.
Excuse me, I made a decision to give Oliver the ring.
I don't think.
he jumps at it like a little
You
bird. And
don't
just like,
think you're being very bossy, Jade. Just saying.
Okay.
oh.
Core looks miffed, but he doesn't take the ring back.
I give it back. I pick up Oliver. I'm sorry.
Core puts the ring in his pocket.
I appreciate the gesture, but I don't have fingers.
I'm going for a walk. Core wanders off by himself.
Alright, you wander off.
Oliver has feet. You can put it on the feet.
I was thinking that, I didn't know you should.
A toe ring.
Ew.
Oh my god.
Imagine like little chicken feet.
Alright, so, Jade, as you're holding a wiggling, flapping little Oliver, he kind of turns around as much as he can in your grip, and he asks, did something happen? There was a really loud rumble earlier, like an hour or a few hours ago, actually. It's been a really long... You guys were in there for so long!
How long?
He kind of thinks for a bit. 8 hours? I think? Maybe? Now, to you guys, that didn't feel like 8 hours at all. That felt like maybe an hour at the most. But that's the impression that he gets, at least.
It's one way to get through long trips.
Okay. I think we need to go to the top deck situation.
Before we go, Jade, as Captain, may I take some of those seeds that Oliver was eating? I want to check them out.
Yeah, I suppose.
Baron just
Thank you.
Baron just turns to Jade. Are you all right, Rockman?
I'm sorry.
I think that maybe Captain is upset Core, so I think I should stop being Captain so that I can protect him. He seemed upset at me making some decisions, so that's a bad.
Daryl kind of looks at you. I think you guys need a one-on-one friendly chat or something.
Okay.
Who are you again? Baron asks.
That's...
Not to be rude, but who are you?
Freaking like American Idol clip.
Yeah.
No, but really, who is she?
Thank
that's
you,
that's not important.
I ignored Doriel's answer.
Okay. He's just kind of standing there,
It's
like
like having his backstory monologue in the background, holding him slightly lower than everyone else, so no one can think of it.
Dariel, no.
a record skip. Pause.
I will,
So you're wondering how I found myself in this situation? That's me over there.
Oh, Dariel's the protagonist.
yeah. I will pull out the glasses though and say, does anyone want these? I think these might be best. The two of you seem sort of are more inclined to watch books and scrolls.
The glasses make me look more handsome.
That is, I believe it is.
They're very fabulous. They're kind of like Elton John's kind of style, you know?
I have no inclination.
Oh my. Baron turns to Vidridi. Hey, Dredri.
Oh my god. Yes, Baron. You cut out.
Wait, did I cut it out?
You said "Hey, Dredri,"
Yeah,
and then that's it.
We had Dredri. That was a lot.
Oh, ask. Do you think I look good in these?
She's gonna hold up a finger and then put it in front of his eyes, and it looks very clearly like she's checking his vision.
Mm-hmm. Baron,
make
you can
sure he
see
actually-
you can see unbelievably clearly. As Virginie does this, you can see like the very fine, like you can see the indentations of her fingerprints.
Wow, Vidrini. Wow, Dre. You have such ring fingers.
Oh my
Call
god!
call her Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre, you have such wrinkly
Oh no.
Wait. Okay, question. How tall is Baron?
Like 6'2", isn't he?
Sorry?
6'2".
Oh, okay. Cannot loom.
You can still death stare though.
Yeah, she gives him a look of, Baron, do you have brain damage? Perhaps from the wyvern attack?
No, I just can see so much better now. I think maybe I was always short-sighted.
Perhaps
I
it
just
seems
never-
like maybe you were hit on the head since you have problems with your memory.
Oh my god.
Oh. Dr. Dre.
Did you forget about Dre?
Who's Dre?
Sorry, some of this is cutting out on me.
Who's Dre?
Sorry. Who's Dre?
Because Dr. Dre is like Dr. Dre. And
Yeah.
the song was called Forget About Dre, and you were like,
Oh.
yeah, okay, never mind.
Sorry.
Really get in my heart.
It was a funny joke. Trudy wouldn't have gotten it.
I appreciate the spirit of the
Because
joke.
Dr. Dre doesn't exist in this world.
Hey, we don't know
That's
that.
not us.
Hey, that's a quitter's mentality, alright? You never know. With enough hope and spirit, maybe Dr. Dre really does exist somewhere out there.
Try hard and believe in yourself.
Yeah, like he believes in Slim Shady.
Now, okay, meanwhile, while these shenanigans are going on and you're admiring Baron's fabulous glasses, Core, as you walk off...
Not admiring.
Not admiring.
I'm in my
No admiration.
Just experiencing them. As you're experiencing the spectacle, pun intended, the spectacle of the spectacles. Core, as you walk off, are you walking towards the direction of the library?
Can I roll a D100 to see where I or like something to see where I go?
Oh, you wanted to randomly decide your direction?
Yeah.
Well, okay, your options are back where you came from, into one of the other two hallways of the fork, down in that direction where you went into that place. There are like a bunch of doors here that you could go through, or there's the way back to the library itself. The big endless looking library that seemed to stretch out into void.
I think the library was dangerous. I think Cole would probably be trying to find the top deck. If
Okay.
I get a choice.
To do that, you have two interesting options now.
Cool.
Because you've got a cape that can get you there, or you can make your way back to the library, which is the
yeah.
only other actual known way of getting back. You haven't actually investigated any of the other doorways or any of the other places.
Oh, yeah.
However, I will say that as now you're not with the group and you walk back out of the room and you're in that hallway where the library is on one end, you hear like a rumbling, kind of almost like a noisy sort of.
Where does it seem to be coming from? Do I have perception?
You can. Well, I'm going to say that it's pretty obvious as you turn your head. It's coming from the library's direction.
Huh. See, Core has a dilemma because he's having a moment, but if he leaves everyone behind, that's kind of a bit too. He's gonna go investigate.
All right, let's go.
Safely.
Go for it. So
Safely.
All right, you walk carefully, and you pretty quickly realize some of what might be going on from just your view. As you walk back, you do see kind of the opening where light is coming through. As you get closer, the contrasting brightness of the light kind of dims as you are enveloped by more and more of the light, and you get a better view into the library as you slowly approach it. And you very quickly see there's like an endless landslide of books, wood, broken shelving, falling really, really fast in front of you where the library seems to be. You see glimpses of rock, who knows where that's fallen from, but you just see it just flying kind of in front of the entranceway. Now it's not actually kind of falling into the entranceway, it just seems to be kind of in that general area where the library is.
Interesting. Is there anyone else in our general vicinity? Or there's no way around this library, is there?
Well, there are a bunch of doors and a few other roads if you'd like to check those out, but you haven't explored them
Yeah.
yet, so
I
this
don't
is like
want to
your...
go into the book avalanche. I'm gonna try and find a way around it.
Alright, where are you gonna head to?
Let's go right.
Alright, so you head forward. Now, I'm gonna say that you, in that case, you ignore the hallway of doors, one of which is the one where you exited from where all the others would be, just one of the rooms. If you walk past that, you have your trio of paths. You have the left path, which you went through and came back from, which was the that was the cube room, and then you have two other very dark paths ahead of you. Now, do you have dark vision?
He does, yeah.
Okay, then you get a sense that as you walk kind of up to this fork, that it's not a magical darkness that's being cast on it or anything like that. Do you want to take one of these two forks?
If you can kind of see, sure.
Okay. Which one of the two do you want to take? If you're taking an unknown path, do you want to take the middle or the right path?
He goes right again.
Alright, you go right. And you start walking.
Core has a rule, doesn't he?
And as you kind of walk, the path at first kind of goes forward, and it starts to sort of wind, and it goes to the right and to the left. And there aren't any doors on either side. It just kind of winds, and then some stairs that go down, you walk down, stairs that go up, and you walk up a bit, and they kind of keep twisting and turning, and you can't really tell where exactly it's going. It almost seems as if you make some impossible turns on the way. Like, you make your way to a corner, and you turn left, and you're immediately at another corner. You turn left again, and then left a third time, and it seems like the paths should intersect at that point, but they don't. It's like a magical corridor that keeps kind of grooving and turning and twisting. And you eventually do reach another door.
I kick it.
Okay, you kick the door. And I want you to roll for me a strength check to see how hard you kick it.
Oh no. Oh no. A 10?
10? It creaks, but it does open. And, well, as it does this, I want you to roll for me a different die this time. I want you to roll for me a d12.
No.
And as you do
Where's
that...
my D12?
Can I ask how much time has passed? Because Jade was going to go and follow after Core the moment he'd given the glasses to the others. I don't know how long that would have taken.
Okay. That'll happen pretty quickly then, after this. As soon as this door opens, we'll cut back to Jade.
I rolled an 8.
8? Ooh, okay. You open the door, and it looks like it's peering into... Well, on the other side of you, you see a wall of doors. It seems like you're kind of adjacent to a hallway. So if you choose to walk through... Also, you hear a rumbling again. As you open this door, now you hear the same sort of... from the library. And it seems to be coming from your left side. And if you choose to walk through the door, then you very quickly notice that you are back in that hallway of doors. It's like Scooby-Doo. And to your
Cool,
left...
I pick the door furthest to the right.
Well, as you walk through at this point, Jade, you would probably walk through if you're going to follow Core, because this wouldn't take too long. So you open the door, and you see Core, having just walked out of the door, kind of a few doors down from you.
Oh. Are you okay?
Core sniffs and pulls open the right door.
Alright, you pull open another door. Now roll for me another d12.
Oh no. Core's gonna die. Oh well, it was his time.
I'm following him through.
Okay,
12.
12. Okay. You open the door, and you see... you see an interesting sight. You see an empty closet. And very quickly you realize this is the same closet that you ran into when you saw those glasses the first time. So it's kind of a dead end. You open the door and you see the closet in front of you. Jade, you see this from your vantage point.
Is there anything in it?
It's very dusty, and there's a kind of a... some dust has been moved around where you swipe the glasses, but unless you want to roll an investigation check, you don't see anything too interesting.
I think Core just sneezes from the dust, shuts the door, moves on to the next one.
Can I ask you, can I talk to you?
I'm busy, Jade. I'm opening doors. See? Look how many doors we have to open.
But we could solve the problem together.
Okay, which door do you want to open?
Well, I meant more like we could talk and then solve. I don't think any of the doors in this area. Well, actually, that's the case.
Is Emma cutting out every few words for anyone else?
A little bit. I mean, you gotta talk louder.
Wow.
Okay. I said it's not like the doors are running away, but actually they are. We if you want, we can wait for the other, and then we can go together rather than you being on your own. I'm worried that something will
I am perfectly fine on my own, Jade. See, perfectly fine. He gestures up and down himself and opens another door.
Alright, roll for me, D12. It's gonna be,
Core's gonna die.
it's gonna be fun.
He kind of deserves it though, doesn't he?
Well, let's see. Who knows?
9.
9? Alright. You open the door, and as you do, as it swings open, the rumbling sound is very loud. The door, as you open it, immediately breaks off its hinges as it's hit by a flurry of books.
Ah!
And you're peering into some part of that library, what it seems like. There are books and debris falling right in front of this doorway. There seems to be a doorway that was at some point connected to something in that library. In that long drop, I guess.
Does the door look like it's dangerous, like it's spurting books out of
It looks like the books are falling too fast past the door to actually kind of be struck
I think
by
I would like kind of try and pull back just a little bit, but I think I don't know, I feel like maybe he won't let him now.
Also,
I think
actually,
Core's just stunned. He's
Core,
like, oh.
as you do, though, I do want you to do one thing. As you open the door initially, it's a door that opens in, I want you to roll for me a dex saving throw to see if you can get your arm out of the way in time.
That was a 12 plus. I don't know really, where's my dex?
Don't
13?
Don't forget you have a ring.
Oh! Where's my ring? I forgot how that works.
I kind of forget as well now, but I think I have somewhere in my folder.
I think I can just re-roll dex saves 3 times a day.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, it has like 3 charges and it resets.
Okay, well
And I think it's an auto pass. I don't think it's a. I don't think it's a
Oh, yeah, it's an autosave.
Oh. Okay, autosave.
Alright, so, with your initial roll, your ring glows and tightens a bit, and you hear a sort of
It's
that you've heard before. It tightens really hard, and your arm moves out of the way. And then it kind of loosens its grip as soon as your arm is out of harm's way. It almost feels like you didn't quite do that. It's kind of a very automatic response, almost.
I think Core's like holding his ring up and like turning his hand like, spooky.
Let's wait for the others. I don't want us to get separated.
And at that point, Dree.
I was gonna say at the. Trudy probably would have walked up from Baron very shortly after. If there's nothing wrong with you, I have nothing to do here. And just
Dariel will walk out with you, I think.
Down
just
the
kind of
hall.
in tow.
faster, especially if there was some sort of rumbling.
Well, you walk out and very quickly you're greeted by the presence of 2 shiny boys. 2 of the shiny boys. Dariel kind of comes with you. Baron, are you leaving as well? I'm going to say that Oliver would have kind of jumped
I'm
after
gonna walk
Jade.
slower because I'm admiring myself.
Alright. So you walk out. Also, for Judy, I'm assuming that you took some amount of the seeds from the box? Because we were
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's say 10 to do experiments up.
10? Okay, cool. You've got 10 of the seeds. It's like a mix of seeds. If you're looking for specific seeds, you can pick them out, but you get like a kind of a mix. Like
Should we
half of them
pick
seem...
out?
Okay, so you get 10 of the exact same seeds that you saw on Fahirla Atoll. The ones that Captain Stronghand told you to be cautious about. Oh no, that he told
Yeah,
you as a
not me.
player, but not Dree specifically. So you walk out, you're there. Baron, you walk out slowly in tow, gracefully. Walking like you're the king of the planet with your new glasses now, as if you've been coronated by their very presence on your body. And you walk out, and you're all there, and you see 2 sights. You've got a rumbling in the distance, which seems to be coming from the general area of the library, and you got that one door which is now broken off, which is just a hole through which you can see very close up what's going on in that library, and it seems like it's just kind of like a portal there. As you're sort of standing and looking at this happen, occasionally there are bits of like wood and a few books and stuff that hit like the edges of the door, like the door frame and like the base where the door is, as they're kind of ricocheting off their surroundings, kind of falling down. And this sort of rumble seems to be very similar, kind of in sound, although a lot quieter now, to the initial very loud rumble that you heard in the room. That seemed to not match any of the other rumbles, indicating the room itself changing.
We need to get out of here.
Is it possible to go back the way we came? See any?
Wait, does Jade mean through the library?
Yeah, the way we came in the library.
You can walk up to the actual kind of section, like the mini balcony almost, where you kind of made your way originally. Looking, if you do walk up to that point without getting too close, you do see that there's a lot of stuff falling endlessly. It doesn't seem like it's ending. Just thousands of books and debris and wood and all this sort of stuff. And you can kind of sort of see through it and see where you came from originally, but it looks like it's way too dangerous to just climb down.
Doors.
Core, do you know what your cape does, by the way?
I can dimension door, but I can't take anyone with me.
Yeah, just asking out of curiosity.
Or I can take one person, I think, with dimension door.
I think so, yeah. If you're like, yeah.
I've been dimension doored as a player before, so.
Yeah, you can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're trying doors, in that case, I'm just gonna say you open another random one, unless you're looking for something specific.
Not a random one.
Alright, you open up a random door. And I want you to roll for me a d12.
How's a 10?
10? You open up this door, and you're greeted by kind of a very dark room corridor. It's hard to tell initially. You do see like a wall kind of opposite you.
Is it magical darkness?
Nope, you can see through it with your dark vision.
I stick my head in.
Alright, you stick your head in and you kind of look around. It seems very barren. You see barren on one side. It seems like this door is poking out into a much less decorated, or it doesn't, they're not decorated, but you look out and you see kind of a hallway stretching out to the left and to the right, and they both turn at either end. There aren't any other doors in this hallway aside from the one that you're poking through right now. Just looking around in general, doesn't seem like it's lit up. It's just completely dark. But those of you with dark vision or some way of seeing, like Jade's glowing, then you can kind of see around you in that way.
Core rushes in.
All right, you rush in. You going left or right?
I'm rushing right behind him. I'm very concerned.
All right, you're rushing right behind. Oliver goes right behind you.
When you have a chaotic friend. It's like Thomas following me around Melbourne as I run across busy streets.
When will the end?
It's PTSD. No, okay. So you run through. Are you going left or right?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, you head down that direction. So you walk for a bit and you take that first turn, and immediately you're greeted by a corridor that seems to be a lot more well lit. You see some doors and stuff. And this one kind of seems a little bit more familiar. It seems like you've actually been down this specific corridor before, even though that turn just now that you went through didn't seem familiar in the slightest. But as you kind of walk down, looking left, looking right, you see the candlelight, you see the doors on either side, and it kind of, the path itself stretches a bit further down, takes like kind of a sort of half turn almost, so you can see, kind of go at an angle, and then walk down. If you're just walking through, after a moment, you kind of do recognize this as a path that seems to be kind of very similar in structure, at least, to the path that led down to the cells originally. Following this path down, unless you're taking any doors left or right, you very quickly do reach the jail cells on the ship.
Okay.
Right. Back in.
What did you say?
Dario. Back in.
He kind of looks around. I don't really want to. Can I object? I object. I veto that decision.
All right, I'll take it. Core turns around and starts leaving.
Wait,
Okay.
Cool.
Core like back bends to look at Jade. Yes.
Can I talk to you?
Jade, right now.
Safe.
Okay,
know
okay. Let's go into the jail cell. Come on.
Are we all going as like a family huddle?
I meant more just
Oh,
us two, Dariel.
okay.
Us two
Well,
and Dariel.
I'll get my
No.
own jail cell in that case. And he starts kind of haughtily walking over to one of the other jail cells.
I'll get my own jail cell. That's the quote from this game.
We all find our own jail cells. Fun prison party.
I like
Yay.
this one. You guys have fun. I'm gonna have 10 times more fun than you could ever have in your jail cell and mine. And anybody who wants to join me for my jail cell party is welcome, except for these two.
Can anyone cast silence?
The issue with silence is that it also deafens.
Can you just cast it on him?
That actually would be, but I can't cast it.
Can I? Hold on.
I use Mage Hand and no, I cast Mage Hand and I put it above Dariel's mouth.
We've definitely done this before.
I like that.
He tries to open one of the jail cells and it's locked. And he looks kind of back at you all with like a look of defeat.
Oh, Baron should be able to cast it. The only one who can cast silence. Fun fact. Core does not know this.
Alright, so Jade and Cora, you head down to a jail
The
cell.
most opulent, luxurious jail cell in the set.
I mean, the only open one. Well, actually, that's still way of wording it. Most of these jail cells are open. Only a few of them are actually locked with nothing inside. Just the first couple or so, which is one of the ones that Daryl tried to open. But you've got the luxury of picking whichever one you want. Now, as far as luxurious jail cells go, these ones definitely don't make the top 10. But I mean, they've got some hay in some of them. It looks like the hay is meant to form like a mattress sort of area, but aside from that, it seems like they're very bare bones. They don't have like any facilities or anything like that. But you would guess that maybe there's some other room that has those things, if you're looking for like a sink or some water or something like that. But
I think Core like goes over to the hay, like flops down on it, and then immediately does not meet his expectations, so he sits right back up.
I'll
like, no,
take off my sash and like fold it up and put it on the hay.
Oh, Jade. Core's like conflicted. He's like, I don't want to sit and, crinkle your sash because it is a very good fashion statement. Yes.
If it's you, I don't mind.
Core puts the sash back on Jade.
Are you okay?
I am great, apart from the fact that we are lost in a spooky ship and there are books falling from the ceiling, which they don't usually do.
I meant all that.
How about we just say help and hopefully someone will come save us?
Baron sticks to the edge of the jail cell, interrupting the conversation.
Yeah.
he's been eavesdropping this whole
I have a
time.
feeling we're not anymore. I think the cell.
Wait, what did you say?
I think we're not lost anymore.
Okay. Can I put my foot in Baron's face and kind of just gently kick him away?
Baron summons Mage Hand and then tickles Core's foot.
Cora's enjoying this. He likes feet massages.
What the fuck? Tickle.
Paul has a foot thing.
He has a foot thing.
I'm
Yes,
learning
because
more about the
all-
shiny boys than I ever thought I would.
He kind of points his
He's
toe to get
waiting
like the
for
position on the tickling he wants.
Oh, God.
You were saying, Jade?
If I'm not very good at words, but if you don't want me to be captain, I'll be captain.
Okay. Core looks like he's having a massive internal struggle. He looks like this is so unnatural to him. It's like, I am sorry that I called you bossy. I just don't like being told what to do I've never been told what to do by anyone before, so I react somewhat inappropriately. And therefore he takes another deep breath, apologize.
Ha ha!
I never had any parents, Jade. I'm sorry. And he jumps back up. Let's go.
Oh, okay. I had some things to say. It's okay. I'll go.
Core turns back down and kneels. Yes, Jade.
No, it's
Speak
fine.
to me, Jade.
You're my parent, Angela. I'm learning everything about being a human. So please tell me.
Oh dear.
Emma, you were cutting out a lot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't hear too much of what you're saying.
I said, you're essentially a parent. Lol. I don't understand what that means, but you're teaching me everything I know about the world. So if I do something wrong, please tell me rather than walking away. Because if you walk away, then all I know is you have to turn your back on problems, mistakes, how to actually do right. Also, I know that you're perfectly fine, and I think that actually I'm sad sometimes when you have to make extra effort. But the truth is, not.
I'm so sorry. You just cut out for like most of that.
Okay.
Just towards the end,
What
especially.
did you last hear?
I heard not much of what you said for the past 30 seconds.
Okay. He said, I know you're perfectly fine on your own, and I feel bad for making like wait for me when I'm trying to figure things out. But the truth is I'm not fine on mine, and it was a lot more eloquent when I said it the first time. I don't know why Wi-Fi is so bad. But he's like, I'm not fine on my own because I don't know how to be without you. So please don't leave me alone.
Core is like reeling from being called a parrot. You can see so much like, flashes of trauma. He's like, Jade.
Maybe parent is the wrong idea. Mentor. I don't really understand the concept of parent.
Jade. Okay, let's start with the easy part. A parent tends to be someone that looks after you when you're a little kid until you're a lot older. They're always there for you. They take you to school. They hold your hand. They read you bedtime stories. All that jazz. That
My dad never did that to me.
As you say that,
Shut up,
Oliver,
Baron.
Oliver in the
Baron,
background
like-
is visibly excited.
The boss. I love that.
I put my foot in Baron's face again. Okay, so that's the easy part. Now, about me being like a parent or a mentor. Jade, this is tough. Because I consider you one of my only friends. But I'm not a great teacher. I mean, I do my best. But there's a lot I have to learn. There's a lot in the world that I don't understand. And I've been told by a lot of people that I'm a great person, but I've also been told by a few people that I'm not an ordinary person. Yes, that's exactly what they said. They didn't say anything more than that. But now we have a nice group of people. Maybe make some of them your mentor. Because I'm your friend, but I don't want you to get in trouble because of me, you know?
I'll be your mentor, Jade. Baron slicks his hair back.
Barry, your face is gonna have like footprints on it after this
Yeah,
conversation.
your face has shiny, glittery footprints on it.
He likes glitter. He doesn't care. And Mage Hand is still tickling Core's foot.
Core's like doing bicycles, you know, like when you lay on your back and like put your feet up in the
Yeah.
air? Yeah, he's doing that.
So I can tap.
That cut out.
So I can still be the captain.
You can still be the captain, because I sure as hell don't want to. They get paid terribly. No dental.
So I don't have to ask your permission to do. Is that something else I should? Oh.
Because I am not your parent. I am your friend. If you do something that upsets me, I'll probably tell you. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have to completely stop doing that thing to everyone else. Because I'm an individual person, not a parent or a mentor. I'm not teaching you about the world. I'm teaching you more about me. And I am, equally as important as the world. But if you want to learn about the world, maybe refer to other people as well.
His
I know,
brain
it's
is like-
mind-blowing stuff, right?
Go and sit down.
Maybe one day we'll find you a parent, Jade. We
I
can go on a
don't-
parent quest.
I have some.
Parent.
Excuse me, Baron.
Look over at Baron. I don't think so.
Did Baron say let me be your parent?
Yes.
Core kicks Baron in the face. Not this one. This is a bad parent. Do not recommend.
That would be a fun uncle though.
So
Yeah. Same.
I'm allowed to. Okay, let's go and to the deck. I start
Onwards.
walking out the jail cell. I'm so confused and lost, and my world has changed.
Oliver is kind of
Trudy's
running
been
after
waiting
you.
by the deer this whole time. The deer. Trudy's been waiting by the door this whole time.
There's a deer in the jail cell.
Onwards, boys.
Like
Alright.
the outer door, so that to give them privacy.
Okay, it's kind of like it's like a little, if you want to imagine it, how the room is kind of set up, or this whole structure, it's kind of like a little, like a corridor where you're walking down, and then to your side there's like a big archway, and through there's like this big hole of like jail cells on either side.
Mm.
So that's kind of what it looks like.
As we catch up with Drudy, can I just
Archway.
ask Drudy casually, like, did you know your parents?
Yes. I have two of them. My mothers.
What were they like?
Very kind. And instructive.
Instructive and kind. Where are you from, Drudy?
Thomas, do I have a name for a village or something like that?
I'm gonna let you make it up if you want.
What
It's
she
Sylvan.
said is, yeah, something Sylvan in the Feywilds.
Core's like, huh.
Dude, you can legit make up a name if you want.
I could, but I can't think of anything right now off the top of my head.
That's fair.
All right, well, I've got a town for you then. Island.
Ellen, no.
Island. This is important. Emma, you're muted.
I went to get a snack and I was like, oh great, there's pasta in the fridge. But it's tomato pasta with salmon in it. So I'm just gonna go and put this back
Okay.
because it tastes so gross.
Oh my goodness.
Can
I
we
do
take
have-
like a 1 minute break? I'll go
Yeah,
and get some
okay.
snacks
Sure, we can
and
take
go to Hollywood.
a quick break if you guys like.
Well, Aelin thinks of a name for...
Well, actually, yes, Quinny.
Is it okay if we end not too late today? Because, like, is it okay if I like yeet out if it's a bit too late?
Yeah, sure. When did you go?
I was thinking maybe like 11.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
It's
Oh,
like-
11?
Yeah, 11.
It's in like ending now?
No, as in like in that's within 55 minutes.
1
11
hour,
Australian
yes.
time, Emma.
Oh right. I was like,
Yeah.
that's now. What? Okay.
No, it'll be
I'm
good.
gonna go and put this away then.
All right, okay, we'll take a quick 1 minute break. Also, Aelin, if you want a name, I can give you one. But otherwise, if you have a cool idea, then I can throw it by you because I have some names for like a bunch of villages like all over the world. But I can give you one of the Feywild ones, and you can just tell me if you like the name or not.
Ash, bloop, bloop, bloop.
So,
I'll take it.
translated into English, you can if you'd like to be from the village of Moondaria.
Cool. I'll take it.
All right, Moondaria it is.
Thomas, do I know where Moondaria is as a Feywild person?
You kind of know the general vicinity of like that sort of town. Actually, if you were born in the Feywild, you would have had a town as well, right? Do you have a name for a place you want to be from, or do you want me to give you one?
I think he was less from a town and more from like an elven settlement in the Feywild, so it would probably be
Yeah.
an elvish.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me just type in this.
Let's call it Bush Blib 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 for now, and I'll find it later.
Well, I can give you a temporary name, and if you don't like it, you can change it later. And we
Yeah,
can say
the
that
temporary
it's-
name's Ash Blib Blib Blib.
Okay, you can be from in that case because
Yeah,
I have
I
a few
need to
names. You can be
spell
from let's see.
I'll spell it. I'll spell it. No, wait.
All right. It's very like it's a special tongue.
Ash Bud
It's an ancient name.
Balu Dupa.
Ashbaduba Laduba.
I would have spelled that incredibly wrong.
It's amazing. It's fabulous.
That's
Alright.
how you say it in Sylvan.
Ashbaduba. Okay. Oh, also, there is something that I should tell you, because I just kind of realized at some point when Aelin brought it up that I never told any of you guys what this world is actually called. And you would have some knowledge of names. Hello, welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
I was just saying that I forgot at all in general to just tell you what your characters would know this like the name of the world to be, because you've known like for Hell Atoll and stuff, but the actual world itself that you live on is the name for it is going to be different based on where you come from. So for the few of you who come from the Feywild, let's see, let me just really find.
So half the party.
Okay, so half the party, yeah. There are two names that you'd be familiar with. There's like a name for the Feywild, and it's not the Feywild in the Feywild. That's what it's called in the material plane. And then there's a name for the material plane as well, kind of in the Feywild. And that's kind of what the name for the world is, from your perspective, if you haven't come across any other names.
Mhm.
So that to you, the Feywild itself is called Moondor, like Moondor.
Oh, is that a throw to the supernatural moon door? Have you seen that episode of Supernatural where they're like
No, I
laughing
haven't.
and the game is called Moon Door?
I haven't, but that's interesting that it lines up.
Yeah,
But that's what.
such a good episode.
Oh my god. Have anyone here seen What We Do in the Shadows?
Not,
But
oh, wait,
the
the movie or
English-
the show?
TV show.
Yeah, either.
I've seen the movie, not the show yet.
I've seen a couple of episodes of the show ages ago.
Fuck, it's so good. It's so good. And that just reminded me, all the LARPers in it are like the where they go to the LARP circles to find virgin blood. It's so funny. Anyway, that's all I have.
Okay, so it's Moondor. The Feywild is called Moondor in the Feywild, and the regular the world that you're currently in is called Soondor as well. Well, it's a kind of contrast.
Sundor!
Kind of, yeah. That's what you from the Feywild we've kind of grown up with, if that's what you were into.
I
For
get it.
for
I see.
Baron, who grew up in Capital, I think, or at least in that sort of general vicinity, and that's in there
Yes,
among
that's
his
where I'm
family,
from.
you wouldn't have come across those names. Like those names are kind of foreign to you. They're very local, let's say. It's not something that gets really carried into the material plane very much in like literature or anything like that. And communication between the material plane and the Feywild is sparse, although it is there. You would have grown up calling the world Pretty Awesome, which is spelled like this.
Pretty awesome.
Oh my god.
Prism.
So that's the capital one. Then, okay. And the Feywild is the Feywild. From your point of view. Would anybody know of any other names? You'd know also in general that a lot of other places, a lot of smaller places like maybe for Hell Atoll, although you never really asked anybody there, a lot of other places outside of Capital specifically call the world the Greater World, and that's kind of it. Because a lot of it's been unexplored, so they've, that's just kind of a very neutral sounding name. But in Capital, in just that city specifically, they call it that. Yep.
Considering I learned everything about the world from the books in my time, what
from where you would have been, you would have only ever seen it referred to as the greater world in pretty much all the literature that you read.
Okay.
Anything that refers to it in any other ways, you would have had to have been reading like either books in the Feywild specifically, or you would have had to have lived in capital basically. And core, if you say again,
would I have read books about the Feywild?
you would have, but if you had read books about the Feywild, it would have been written from the point of view of the material plane, so they would have just called it the Feywild. So that's kind of the name you know it by. Verdridi and Core, you might have heard the name Pretty Awesome, which actually now I can't
Canon
remember
that Core calls it pretty awesome.
Pretty Awesome. You may have heard that at some point. Like if somebody brought that up as a name, then you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I've heard that before, I think. But that's like a very weird term that you're not used to hearing. And that's kind of a capital specific thing. So that's just a little bit of lore that I have in my notes early on that I just forgot to mention, but there you go.
Thank you, Thomas.
And there might be other, you know that other places call the world different things, so if you ever want to ask any of the NPCs like, hey, what's the name of this, like, what did this big thing that we live on, what do you call it? Then who knows, maybe
What
we'll
is this
get
big thing you live on?
this big thingy.
Cool.
But
I
anyway.
think Core's just like got his arms behind, like he's crossed his arms behind his back, and he's kind of just like darting to either side of Verdridi, very excited, just like, so like your abilities and stuff. Did you learn those in the Feywild? They're pretty great, you know, turning into animals, but they're actually plants. Like that's amazing.
My mother, she's part dryad, so
Dryad. Ooh. So what are you?
somewhere between that and orc and tiefling.
Dryad, tiefling. Okay. And what kind of magic do you do? Because it's very different from my magic, but I feel like I've seen something like it before. Maybe. Once.
Kind of like my mother's magic. Not quite the same.
With the flowers and the transformations and the cool nature stuff. Cause you can't see me doing it, but Core's like gesticulating like cool gang signs.
Also, not that necessarily matters too much, but while I'm divulging lore information, I actually am going to finish writing up a big Feywild doc I have that I'm going to send to you guys. But I guess the other random thing that's just general knowledge is that it's shrouded in an eternal night. Although historically it was not always that way. That's just general knowledge. It's been like that for a very, very long time, for like over 1,000 years.
Sad times.
Neat.
Cool.
Yeah.
Core just keeps asking Dritty questions as they go, like questions along this line. He's very interested.
And she doesn't necessarily, like, her expression doesn't change, but like she's now kind of like leaving this like trail of flowers.
Flowers.
Cute.
Flowers.
Well,
What
okay.
kind of flowers?
Naturally bloom from her hair.
Yes, but Aelin, what kind of flowers? This is very important information that you need to consider. You know, it really comes from the heart.
Lily, it's fine. Pretty flowers. It doesn't matter.
No, we need to know exactly.
You can you want
The
to.
lilies.
They're lilies.
Lilies.
Yeah.
No, Aelin gets me.
I do. I have my list pulled up.
Hell yeah.
I get you, but also, in case Aelin didn't have a list, it's nice to have a way out.
I knew Aelin had a list. Aelin's list is bigger than mine.
It's like 200 or something flowers. Yeah, it's a lot of flowers.
Yeah, boy.
There's also there's a new little like side poll for whether or not flowers are edible. Just
Oh, okay, that's a cool one.
I have a few books on flowers that I sometimes reference, but anyway, not relevant now. Core has no idea.
I've eaten a few flowers.
Same. Sometimes they taste good. Sometimes they don't.
I've only ever eaten the ones that have been served, though.
There are some in England that we found, and I'm pretty sure my cousins told me that they were edible, so I ate them, and I'm not sure if they were poisonous, but...
Okay, look, that's kind of concerning.
Yeah.
let's just assume marjoram for the time being.
Okay, cool. Core's just like
Pretty
trailing,
flowers.
looking at the flowers, and he's looking at Dreedy, and he is so happy, he's so animated.
Alright, so if you're heading
Sorry,
back
I
up...
missed that, Emma.
I said I have no idea what that looks like.
Picture, picture.
I'll drop a picture.
Mm.
It's cute. Some cute flowery
I think we
goodness.
need to go and find Tome of Nature. She was the last one in there. She might have whatever.
I agree.
Okay. In that case, Dritty, do you want to lead the others to the infirmary, or do you want to go somewhere else? Because as far as you know, from your point of view, the infirmary was the last place you left Toe of Nature. However, if Oliver really is right in what he's saying, then a lot of time has passed. So, up to you where you want to guide them. Or,
Probably the infirmary, honestly.
alright, you lead the way. You know, from this point, from the jail cells, it's kind of easier to navigate the ship. It's a lot less foreign than all the other places. And for the most part, it seems like the ship doesn't transform too much more. Oh, these are cute! Oh my goodness! Okay, I'm sorry. You make your way
They're
through.
also kind of like floral and like herby smelling.
This is a really nice picture as well. Oh my god. Okay. So, you make your way
Wait,
to
why
the
have I
infirmary.
not gotten it?
Oh, it's just on the. It's in the Discord chat.
It's in the main chat.
What's happened to my... there we go. Ooh. Yes. Yes,
The cute
good
flower
stuff.
content.
I'll try and get my backdrop of the many... My mum said I bought too many flowers. They're all in my room. Tomorrow I will put them in my background.
Cute. Cute. Yes.
Must have
Please do.
I
flowers.
trusted my neighbour to water my plants for me, but I do not trust him at all. I
Oh,
don't understand.
Oh.
Thomas, we need to go shopping for new plants since that one died
Yeah, we should.
when I come back.
I'm looking forward to viewing some plants, purchasing some plants, just
Ye-
being around plants in general. It's gonna be nice.
We should go back to the market, get some.
Yeah, there were some good ones there. We'll have a look.
Including the sloth, and we were like, that's for Emma!
And we
The
found stuff
sloth
for you.
plant.
We found sloth stuff.
Yeah.
With cactuses too. It was incredible. Anyway,
There
okay.
was a sloth with a cactus, and it was just like,
It's the ultimate combination. All right, so you make your way to the infirmary. Virginia leads. You kind of all know the way to some degree as well. This is a lot more familiar. This part of the ship, it's all lit up. It's well lit, and you make your way over there, and you hear it kind of as you approach. All of you would kind of hear this. You'd hear like a distant sort of scraping, maybe kind of like a staticky noise, like a for a little bit.
"Mm-mm."
And then you walk up to the infirmary. You're kind of close, and you're cautious. You know, you don't know what's making the sound. You hear it periodically.
Does it sound organic or, material?
yeah.
It sounds kind of organic, but it's a bit ghastly.
So it's a person or a thing.
Something is making that sound. Yeah.
Can
wanna-
I nature check?
Yeah, you can nature check.
Where's my thingy? Okay. 12.
12. It sounds like somebody is sick and congested and snoring.
I look at Drudy. Someone's got a cold.
I can treat that.
Cool. That's gonna be Drudy's new quote.
That's a really good.
I can certainly treat this.
So you peek around the corner, just kind of cautiously, and you see one entire Tome of Nature, fast asleep, on her side on the operating table, just
Huzzah.
snoring away.
While she's sleeping, can I medicine check her?
Yeah, you can medicine check her.
Cool. That is a 19.
19. She really does sound congested and pretty badly, but as it seems. But this sort of cold you can't really catch in such a short amount of time. So you get the impression as well from just this medicine check that really a lot more time than you feel like has passed has actually passed since you were in that room.
Get some Vicks Vapor Rub up in here.
Yeah, I like it.
I can grow that.
Alright, you grow some Vicks Vapor Rub in this packaging and everything.
So just to say, I can grow eucalyptus. Tome of Nature, don't eat this.
Unless you are a koala.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Drudy, can you become a
Right.
koala?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Oh,
really
We have to
cute.
do. We have to do this later.
Sad.
Wait, what did you say,
Oh,
Baron?
Quinny.
Ella's making me so upset right now.
I know.
They're all dead. Lol.
Oh my god, Quinny! Well,
On that
let's not think about that too much. Let's back into the fantasy. It's nice. It's fine. There aren't any
So I
bushfires.
missed that just then. What?
Quinny just said it's so sad. They're dead, lol. In response to the koalas, you realize.
I was making a joke about Victor eating the eucalyptus that
Yeah.
assassinated him in the other game.
Anyway,
So I want to poke Tome of Nature very, very, very gently.
very gently. Okay, you poke her. Do you poke her with the staff? How are you poking her?
So I do a little poke.
Okay. She doesn't seem to notice you poke her. She seems like she's asleep.
Ah, yes. She has truly passed this time.
I'm sorry.
Maybe you should sit on her.
I do not think that's a good idea. I don't want to do that.
Oh, rip another NPC if that happens.
Death by Jade.
I crushed.
Oh.
Well, she's there and she's sleeping. And say again.
I said the body died the same way, crushed by a rock.
Oh no!
Aelin!
Every Aarakocra's doomed fate.
That's so out of character for
Oh my
you.
god!
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love this new side of you.
All my bird people are gonna be crushed. Okay, well,
I'm trying to find the perfect meme picture for this because I saved one.
you have a perfect meme picture for this situation.
Yes, I really
I have
do.
a perfect meme picture for every situation.
If you don't, you make one.
You
Exactly.
True.
Oh, my iPad's dead. I can't show you. Never mind.
Huh?
You have to
It's
show
something
us.
about you, Thomas.
You have to post this in the
Yay.
chat or in the thing in the
Yeah,
shiny
I
boys
will.
chat or something. All right. So, is there anything you want to do with this sleeping tome?
Put Oliver on her. He's not heavy enough to kill her.
He's very light. You can do that. He seems to be kind of excited to be involved.
Tome
What
of
is it?
Nature trying to cling on to life. Jade saying rest in peace.
Oh my goodness, that's pretty.
Jesus.
It's pretty accurate. Oh rip. But anyway,
Yeah,
okay.
we put Oliver on the sleeping congested tome.
All right. So you put Oliver on, and he's kind of like he's excited, but he's confused.
Can I also just reach for like some smelling salts from like the cabinet just to assumably wake her up?
Oh my gosh, no, wait, but Oliver is related to the body that she's in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is-
Yeah, maybe
No,
we
no,
should.
no, I'm not. No, 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 no. This is too real. Is there any way I can stop this happening? Shield his eyes.
Bounce, Oliver.
You can pick him back up again. He's sitting on top. He hasn't really realized quite yet.
Yeah.
Well,
Oliver, look at me.
can I be a mentor?
You can be a parent, Oliver. You're almost at the age.
I look over to Cole. Can he be a mentor?
For you, I would not recommend. I think we should keep searching.
He has already
Does
told me a
everybody-
lot about this.
He's the size of a roast turkey.
Why does that be roasted?
Put
Ah!
him on my shoulder back so that he can't see the body.
Okay. All my birds, they're all being killed.
Was he a turkey or a chicken size? It was turkey, right?
I don't remember. He's like a big bird, a big little bird.
So,
He's like
a
all over
turkey or a
the
chicken?
Yeah.
There is
So
a
a chicken.
difference. I've had both.
Yeah, so chicken.
Mentor.
He's like a corgi.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
that's
chicken.
A loaf of bread size.
I mean, corgis are somewhere in between turkey and chicken.
Okay.
Yes. This sliding
No, like
scale.
legitimately, I've actually
wanna
had
carry
both
my
a
back.
chicken, a turkey, and a duck before.
Same.
I was gonna say and a corgi. I was gonna say.
And a corgi.
I did have a corgi. His name was Gizmo.
Oh, that's such a good corgi name. Gizmo.
If
Oh
I
my
have a
god.
corgi, I want to call it cuddle bread.
Oh cute.
If I ever have a corgi, I want to call it cuddle bread.
Cuddle bread.
Cuddle bread.
Cuddle bread.
Oh.
CB for sure.
All right. So as you hold your corgi, he's kind of wiggling and he's looking at you. What's a mentor?
Not you, but
Are you a mentor? He's kind of looking at Jade.
I look over to Core. Am I a mentor?
Jade is a mentor in training.
You're a mentor! Mentor, mentor! Mentor.
I kind of
Visual
put my finger.
needs to wake up Tom of nature.
As if she's not woken up with all of this ruckus.
No, she's not. Well, actually, you know what?
The dulcet tones of Oscar,
Oof,
Oliver. I keep going.
She has not woken up yet, actually, from all this kerfuffle.
Baron, maybe you should sit on her.
Baron summons Mage Hand again, his signature spell, and then he will try to. What can he do?
Pinch your nose.
He'll try to like pry her eyes open.
Pry her eyes open. They kind of. You know how when you open somebody's sleeping eyes, they're just kind of like looking, but they're not
Darts
looking at
around.
anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I've done that to someone and the eye like darts around really creepily.
Maybe that's REM sleep or something. Who knows? Yeah, okay, her eyes dart around really creepily.
Cool.
And I'll blow into her eye to try and wake her up.
That does not
Excuse me.
She kind
This
of
is not a glaucoma test.
she ruffles around in her sleep and kind of moves around and kind of switches sides and keeps snoring.
What?
Vitri, did you say you were getting salts?
Yeah, I was gonna get smelling salts from the cabinet because I assumed that they're there.
Yeah. This is your domain.
Yep. Smelling salts underneath the beak.
Alright. So it takes a moment, but the story kind of comes to an abrupt end. I had the wildest dream.
Did you know?
I dreamt I was a dragon. I think it's the wings that they're having this effect on me. I was
Okay.
flying through the sky, terrorizing everyone, striking fear in the hearts of mortals. It was fun. Where were you gone? You were gone for like half the day. She kind of looks to all of you.
We were mentoring.
I'm sorry, I think I got sick. Who are you mentoring?
Really? Sick. You're sick. That takes priority. We can go through it later.
Oh, okay. She kind of looks at
Yeah,
Trudy.
Trudy will begin cold care, but also is going to ask, so what were you doing all of the day, and how did you get sick?
I don't know. I went outside, and it was sunny. I waited here for like a few hours. And then I went outside because I got really bored, but then I felt bad because maybe you guys were coming back and I didn't know how long you were going to take, so I came back. And then I just waited here. I just started feeling worse. For some reason. I don't know. Maybe the headache was like a cold coming on, I think. Who knows? Actually, you should know. But I came back, and then I kept waiting, and more time passed, and I got really tired for some reason. I don't know. I think maybe it's because I'm sick. And then I think I fell asleep, and then I had my dragon dream.
Okay, while she is going on, I would like to do detect magic on her while I'm doing medicine things as well.
All right, go for it.
Should I roll a medicine check, an arcana check? What am I doing?
If you're looking for magic, roll for me an arcana check.
It's 6.
6?
But I did want to actually cast the spell Detect Magic,
Oh, okay.
because I have an inkling that there has been magic going on before. So.
Okay.
Magic, of course.
Now, with your initial roll, your arcana check, you're kind of now, as you sort of, after having been in that room with the cube, you can't help but notice the magic emanating from the walls now, because you didn't really notice it before because it was everywhere, but now that you've been near the cube and it's made it a lot more potent in that moment, you can't help but notice it, so that's kind of maybe interfering a bit, and it's hard to tell exactly if there's some sort of magical stuff going on. Or is this what you get with a 6?
No, but I do want to cast Detect Magic.
Oh, detect magic. Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Tell me again. What exactly does detect magic do?
Okay. So, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. You can see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn rule of magic, if any. It can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay. In that case, okay, this is what you kind of get from your detect magic spell. Now, just by the very nature of the spell, I'm going to say that you can... Aelin, no! Aelin disappears.
Can I go over to Core whilst opening and ask?
Go for it. Core?
Ask what?
For the rain.
Oh yeah, Core just flips it over.
Okay, I want to go over to Tome of Nature, and whilst she's talking, I'm just gonna like try putting it
Where are you trying to put it?
on her finger.
She doesn't have fingers.
Wait, what?
On her feather thing.
On her wings? Okay,
One
you
of her
can...
talons. Yeah.
Okay, she does have talons, and you can kind of put it on,
Okay.
like, the claw of her... One of the talons on her foot, if you like.
Yep.
Think of the Aarakocra in this world as kind of like
Yeah.
the Rito people from like Legend of Zelda. They have kind of like big wings, but they don't have arms.
Don't
So,
never played any.
they have big wings,
Yes, I understand.
but they're not very good at grabbing things.
Hmm.
With their wings, at least. They grab things like, you know, like budgies, how they grab little things with their legs and they're just like, "Ear," and they do that. So,
Yeah.
it's cute. And canon now. Okay, so, Aelin, there is something very weird that you do notice when you do use the spell.
Okay, cool.
And it's that you don't detect any magic coming from Tome of Nature herself. None whatsoever. No residue of any sort either. This includes a type of magic that you've sensed just being around her this whole time, which is that the necromancy magic that used to kind of just generally envelop her, which has been sort of faint as of recently, has completely vanished. And she's just sick right now, it seems.
Oh. I think I put that one together. Perhaps we should take Tom down to the bunks to rest.
Where? Sorry.
Either to the bunks or somewhere else. A private quarters, perhaps.
Okay. What about the room?
What about the what?
What about the room where we're sleeping?
Oh, you guys are all sleeping in like the same sort of general area,
Yeah.
I was presuming.
We could put her there.
Alright, do you want to go drag her there?
Is she? Wait, she's alive, right?
Yeah. She's alive and she
Okay.
just has a cold, it seems.
She's alive, but like she
She's alive for now.
Yeah. But Verdridi,
Oh, as in it's go time.
It's this is the final moments for her, is what it.
hey, we
kind
don't
of
know that.
looks
Look,
like.
she seems
Oh,
okay.
No, I suddenly feel really bad at making all this joke. Wait,
But I don't know if
Like,
Verdridi's divulged that, but there's no necromancy magic aura anymore.
3D hasn't necessarily divulged it, but she's not terribly subtle. It wouldn't take
Yeah.
a whole lot of insight to reveal that she's like
Probably
kind
not,
of
yeah.
expressing, let's go find a quiet place to rest kind of thing.
She looks kind of eager. I could go back to sleep. I can have my dream. I want to be a dragon again. You're muted.
You're on mute, Emma.
Time of Nature.
Yes.
Before you go to sleep, question.
Uh-huh.
It
Emma,
might
speak
help us
louder.
out. It might help us out a lot if you can answer.
Yes.
Do you remember putting anything anywhere on the ship?
No. What do you mean?
Personal items, something you might have found. Stowing anything.
Well, I mean, you remember when you found me on the island? I don't really have any personal possessions, so I didn't put them anywhere. Why? Did you find something?
You might have gone somewhere and this way.
I mean, you're cutting out.
You might have gone somewhere and not realized where you went.
Oh. Oh, is this to do with my memory being weird?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where did... Huh? Do you know where I went?
Yeah.
I didn't know I went anywhere. I thought I passed out.
You went. Can I insight check for Dreedy? I have very good insight.
Yeah, sure.
Like, because you were saying before. It's a low roll, but it's 15.
What are you trying to insight?
This is her final moments, right?
Okay.
Yeah, basically is what she would be kind of like. She just seems very like set and like kind of having taken like a step back from Tome. In a stance that would say there's nothing more that she can do.
You went to the library and you found some good treasure. A fun adventure.
She kind of reels back for a bit. I don't remember going to the library.
No, you wouldn't. But it looked like it was looked like you did good.
You look like what? Emma, you're cutting out.
You did some good.
Am I meant to have taken something from the library? I don't think I have any books. I didn't see
What
any.
he's trying to say is he's trying to make it. He's just trying to be nice. He was going to ask more interrogatory questions, but he's just changed his mind and is like, no, just tell us the hero and then leave. That's what he's saying. He doesn't want to. It's too difficult.
I don't remember anything.
Well, you did very good.
Okay. Is that okay? Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm happy I could help. I think. Oliver's kind of just staring at her from behind. Like a really intense look.
I didn't want to let him see her, was the thing.
Oh, okay, wait, where is he then?
I kind of put him backwards on my shoulder.
Oh, okay. Are you like restraining his head?
The dead body of his, like, relative.
Well, okay. He's like on your shoulder. He's kind of like listening in. But, yeah. Type of nature seems, without having insight checked or anything like that, she seems mostly clueless, but happy that she seems to be of some service to you. Because that's the vibe that she gets from this. Not fully understanding at all what actually is the nature of the situation.
I'm gonna take Oliver out.
Where to? Are you taking him to the deck?
Yeah, just so he doesn't have to see or get wind of.
Okay, you take him to the deck. And you walk out and it's kind of like nice weather. You see the other NPCs there, who you are familiar with. You see some of, Captain Stronghand is right now the one behind the wheel. And he sort of sees you from where you are and he kind of waves at you as you sort of appear. Like from the distance from where the wheel is. You walk back down?
No, I'll wait with him. I don't go down.
Oh, okay. Where are the others in that case going? Are you all going to the top deck?
Core would follow
No,
Jade.
Say again, Jade?
I thought you guys were taking him somewhere comfortable, taking Tome of Nature's. So
Well,
didn't want to see.
We can split up in that case. You can delegate Dariel to help out in whatever way he can.
Yeah, Jade didn't want to.
I mean, if Tom can walk on her own, Trudy would just kind of navigate for her.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. In that case, you can navigate her back down. She'll head to the bunker, or to the bunk beds, to the bunks, to the hammocks, and she'll kind of lie down. She's only really got a cold at the moment. That's all it seems like. But she'll kind of go lie down, and she falls asleep pretty much instantly, and she starts snoring again. Very, very tired for some reason, although you probably know why. Baron, are you coming down as well, or are you going back to top deck?
Yes. I'm gonna come down too.
Alright, so you come down with Virginie, you both kind of see off Tome of Nature. She falls asleep pretty much instantly. Is there anything you want to do while you're down here, or do you want to go back up?
Just going back up.
No.
Okay, you guys go back up. To the top deck you go.
Unless I'm not sure if Baron cut out or anything.
It's fine.
Alright, well you take note at least of where Tome of Nature is sleeping. Might need to go check up on her at some point later in the future. Anyway, you guys make your way to top deck, if that's where you're going. Baron, did you say something? Baron! Baron!
Yes.
Did you say something?
Ah.
Aside
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you, but I think.
Anything?
Wait, no, now you're cutting out a bit.
Half the time.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, you didn't say anything. Okay, cool. Alright, you guys in that case make your way back up to the top deck. You make your way up, and you see Captain Stronghand by the wheel, and you kind of look around and you see the other NPCs there. You see Mort and Freddy. They're also like hanging out. They're both just chatting kind of by the railing, kind of further down the ship, closer to the bow. As you kind of look around, and you look around you, you see sea endlessly. Right now it's a very sunny sort of day. It seems like a lot of time has passed because the sun is already kind of getting close to setting, although it hasn't quite gotten there yet. Whereas when you first went down into the ship, it was like extremely early in the morning. The Wyvern corpse is still there, having been left unmoved. And Captain Stronghand is at the wheel. And as he sees all of you kind of shuffle up to the top deck, and as you sort of see him, he kind of waves to all of you and then kind of motions for you to come his way, I guess. However you want to interpret that sort of motion.
I think the Dorito is calling us.
The call of the Dorito. So, do you walk over? Alright, so you guys make your way over. You walk
Hey,
through.
Captain Strongman.
Strong hand, and it's nice to see you all again. Hello? Welcome. Where did you all disappear to?
Yes.
Well, okay, you know what, if it's... I won't pry. I presume that you're all doing your own thing, and that's fine. As long as nothing is destroying the ship, I think we're all good. Jade, if you'd like to take the wheel at any point, please let me know. Captain, and he kind of does a salute. I'm just here steering it for the time being, going in a straight line while you're off doing your thing. Just let me know what you want me to do.
There is a black void in the ground with a waterfall of books and a big rumbling, but...
Okay, I'll go inspect that. Is it an imminent danger?
Who
Hmm.
knows about this ship? We need any crew, I think, to come here and explain everything.
Okay, so there is a problem with that.
There are two crew, I know.
There are
have
two
their
crew.
names, my name.
Now, those two guys, they've worked on the ship before, and they're somewhere. I don't exactly know where they are, but they're somewhere on the ship, I think. I haven't seen them in...
I told one of them's got to the crow's nest.
Oh, okay, that's weird. There's nobody on the crow's nest at the moment. I've just been doing the looking from here. Or at least I can't see anybody up there. And he looks up, and the crow's nest kind of looks empty, but it's hard to get a proper vantage point.
That's pretty sus.
So, I haven't seen either of them since yesterday. But aside from that, none of the guard are useless. All of the guard are absolutely incompetent. Okay, they don't know anything. They've been on the ship for like a day. This is not their usual duties.
I'm gonna pull myself out of the narrative as Emma and just be like, how could a ship this big, a passenger ship, function with 2 crew and a medic. That doesn't make any sense. This boat is so bizarre. Why is there avoidance? I want to pull my hair out. Who is calling the shots? Why was the captain such a bad captain? Okay, I'm back.
Oh wait, I actually have something to add to that though.
Yeah, go for it.
What?
So all the people on the ship that sunk, they were supposed to have come onto this ship. So theoretically, we should have had crew members from that ship too.
That's what you think, but you got a lot
Oh.
more guard.
I thought that was just a random extra ship. I thought they just set off with like, yeah, just 2. This is a lot more. This calms me down somewhat, but it's still like
Wow.
The
I'm
cathartic.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a wonder. I mean, the captain is dead now, but hey, it was it's interesting how this ship is even functional at this point. Where's the cook? Where are the cleaners? Who knows? It's probably fine.
How far are we from capital?
You get the idea. From how far you've traveled already, probably only a few days. Maybe 3 or 4 at the most.
I don't feel comfortable going back down and sleeping in the void. So why don't we set up like a nice cabana under the stars, you know?
Well, we could
Out here
use up
on
the...
top deck.
If Jade doesn't mind, I mean, we could use the captain's quarters. It's kind of a hole in the wall, but aside from that, it's big enough for all of us to kind
Okay.
of camp in.
I don't mind.
Um,
They're large enough. We should use
But that aside, before we decide what we're going to do for the night time, or who's going to be steering or looking out or whatever, I just wanted to quickly bring up with you something that kind of neglected to mention to you earlier, but I was asked originally if I could get all of you to Capital without being arrested and trialed and possibly executed for committing crimes against the crown, which you say that you haven't done, and that's up to you all, whether or not you've done that. Druidia, I know you have nothing to do with this, but if you're aiding and abetting now, then you're as guilty as they are, almost. However, you don't have anything to worry about, but the terms of the deal I kind of haven't divulged yet. But more or less what I've kind of agreed to on your behalf, of all of you, is that, with my higher-ups, is that you would take part in some sort of test of some kind. See the...
What?
Yeah, so about that, I'm not actually really in the know. I just figured this was a very quick and easy way, but it
This
seems
is
like
illegal. You're supposed to disclose the terms of agreements before we make the agreements. I can get a lawyer on your ass.
well, you see,
Well,
we're
you didn't ask for the terms.
He still has to say it. It wasn't a written, signed agreement. Therefore, it needs to be verbal. There is no small print. I've been in much legal trouble in the past. I know this is a thing.
Well, regardless, we're running a bit of a covert operation at this point, so I'm not exactly operating under the law myself, nor are most of my members. However, if you do wish to stay, for the most part, undisturbed, then when we do arrive in Capital, there is some sort of test that I think the royal family has asked me to get you to take part in. They're testing out some sort of magical device, I think, and they want you all to test it out. Well, not you all specifically. It doesn't have anything to do with you, but they just need enough people
Guinea
to do
pigs,
it.
basically.
In some sense, yes. I'm sorry for not having divulged this earlier, but I figured now is as good a time as any. But that should only be a day or two at the most, and then you'll be free, and that's it. Everything about you will be stricken from the record. You'll be total strangers in Capital, at least. Anything
We'll
that
be dead.
Well, who knows? It could be fun. I've never participated in a technological test of any kind, and I don't know what
Oh,
this one
that's fine.
involves.
You won't be missing out. You can take my place.
He sort of chuckles to himself. There is also some other things. That's more of a, I mean, that is pretty major, but that's kind of a side note. I was going to ask if you had any interest, you could help me a little bit once you're done with whatever test it is that the royal family wants you to do. You could help me out with some of my tasks, and we could have some fun. I have some other
with
things.
those tasks? You know what? How about I just go with you and help with your tasks straight away, skipping all of this science hocus pocus stuff.
Well, I can't exactly have you be part of my team, as you are wanted criminals at the moment, temporarily.
Us?
Yes.
Us? What do we do?
Well, I don't know. Apparently you robbed the crown. Is
Says
what I've
who?
heard.
Since
That
when?
person that isn't. They're on a different ship.
Second.
The person who did that isn't with us.
Oh, okay. Well, it says there was a group
They
of
got
you.
on a different ship.
Okay. Well, regardless.
Oh, sorry, no, he's not referring to Ilya. No one else knows it was Ilya. They know it was Cloud. Right, okay, no, never
Yeah,
mind. Okay.
nobody knows about Ilya. I mean, aside from you all and Captain Stronghand. Captain
It's not
Stronghand
all
isn't.
of us, but Jade is.
I mean,
Jade won't
Captain
say
Stronghand
anything.
himself doesn't actually know much about the situation.
Wait, when did we get accused of being thieves?
It was just
Cloud.
Cloud. Except for it wasn't Cloud. It was actually Tome of Secrets.
Yeah, Tome of Secrets is the one
It wasn't Tome of
accused.
Secrets, except it was also Ilya. OG.
But I didn't know we were also accused.
Well, nobody was. You never got any formal message that any of you were accused. As far as you all knew, until Captain Stronghand kind of started talking to you, it seems as though, at some point, especially from this conversation that you're having now, that somebody ratted on you.
Do we have a
Who?
poster with the appearance
Darren.
of our, wanted stuff?
I think Jade might have had a poster. I don't know if Jade still does, but you might have.
It only had Cloud's name with
Yeah, it was.
Tome. Wait, was it the other way around? Was it Cloud's description, Cloud's image with Tome's name, or the other way around?
It was Cloud's. Sorry, it was Cloud's name with Tome's image. So it looked like Tome of Secrets, who was the potion seller that you met on the island, but it had Cloud's name for some reason.
Okay.
I find it very easy to evade wanted posters, seeing as they can never get my face right. But for all of you,
Drudy actually kind of chuckles at that.
haha, I made you laugh. That's a strike for me. And counting.
Well, in any case, if you choose to flee capital or do anything else, then by all means, consider this vessel free of charge. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, the captain is dead now, so it's not like he can have any word in the matter at this point.
In
But
which
if you-
case, I will not be paid for my services.
Well, I mean, the money still exists, so I can at least ensure that you get paid for everything that you've done.
If
Also, as for all of you, this is another part that I've almost forgotten to mention. There is something in it for all of you, monetarily speaking, from the royal family if you do end up partaking in this test. Because it's a bit, there's a little bit of collateral insurance, I guess, let's say, for whatever
I
they
thought
end
they
up doing.
wanted to chop our heads off.
Well, I mean, this would let you slip under the radar, I guess. They're holding you at sort of in a hostage position in a way. They
And
figure
they
if they've got you as disposable people, then maybe they're holding. Look, I'm
My good
speculating
sir,
as much as you are.
I am not disposable. Let's just lay that down right now.
Well, then you have nothing
I
to worry
can
about.
be-
Second, Jade.
I am recyclable.
You are what?
Recyclable.
That's nice to know.
As the captain of am I allowed to be the captain of fugitive?
Yeah, you can be. Let's not get into the details of these things.
Am I not then a pirate?
Well, you can be the captain of our pirate vessel in that case, if you want to look at it that way.
I don't want to be accused of pirate. I don't.
Pirate Captain Jade. He sort of jokingly salutes. No, I jest. I am being facetious. Regardless, I have some new matters to take care of in capital that. I have some new matters to take care of, I should say. I have some other tasks that I need doing, and if you'd like to be compensated for those, and if you're interested at all, then let me know once we've. Well, just let me know in general, and we can talk it through. But otherwise, I won't pester you with that information. If you choose not to be involved with me,
Actually, I'm so interested. We could get started on them straight away.
well, we do need to get to capital first. And as he's sort of saying this, you hear an interesting sort of sound in the distance, coming from far in the distance, but you can hear it. It's not too far. Just kind of in front of the ship. And you see, as you kind of look to see, because he looks as well, Captain Stronghand is caught off guard by this sort of noise. You look out into the horizon, on the ocean, as you're kind of sailing now. And you see a very small boat, ? And it's traveling at a very fast speed, kind of right by you. And it's forming ice circles underneath it as it's kind of skating by.
Brian.
And it's just kind of sliding. It's like it's got like helicopter blades on the sides of the boat, and it's just sliding across the ice, using its sail as a way to kind of guide it. And it kind of turns towards your ship, and the captain starts to freak out. We're gonna crash into that. We're gonna crash into that ice. What is that?
It's ice.
It's the Titanic.
It's
How
forming.
big is it?
It's hard to say, but they're forming pretty big, maybe 30-foot.
I'm gonna grab the wheel and begin to steer away.
Alright, you begin to steer away.
Yeah, trial by fire.
Alright, so you do it. You turn the wheel as hard as you can. The big ship very, very gradually begins to turn, ever so slightly, while this little ship completely encircles you in a ring of ice, circling the ship. And it comes to a stop.
Anyone who can, destroy the ice in front of where the ship is going.
Hold on, let me check if I can do this. I need my little cards.
Explode.
And if you're kind of looking out for it, you can see a small figure kind of piloting this little tiny
Who's this?
slidey boat.
Who's this icy? I was gonna say boy, but it might not be a boy, so
Well,
icy person.
Is it
from
Gargamon?
Brian.
I mean, if you want to have a look, it kind of roughly where you're standing, you can get a good vantage point because he's sort of they.
Icy boy.
The icy boy stops his boat kind of in front of you as he does his ring, and he looks up at you. And he's a little bit of a rotund fellow, short in stature.
It's definitely not Brian.
He's got glasses, short black hair, kind of ruffled. You can see this from up here on top of the boat. And he, let me just read something really quick. Oh my goodness. Alright. You see this fellow kind of stop and slow down and stop his boat. And he looks up at you all. And he kind of yells, Fear me, mortals! I am John, the Ice Wizard, and I demand 10,000 gold or I won't unfreeze the ship!
Haha.
And at that point, I think we're gonna call the session. We'll call it in.
I am the ice wizard.
We're gonna call it there. I'm gonna hit bang on 11 o'clock. Apologies for the slightly shorter one. But,
No, it's fine.
did good. Thank you very much, as always, for being part of this wonderful journey into the dreamscape. The
I love
adventurescape of this.
Gem dice, I've decided. These feel so nice and they sound so nice in my hand.
I thought you said they sound so dice. I was gonna be like, yeah. It's
They
about.
sound so dicey.
Oh, that's good.
Icy.
It's good.
Dice.
Oh man! Alright, well that was interesting.
Yes.
It was very good. Thank you, Thomas.
No worries. How are you feeling, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I will sleep well.
Alright, have lots of rest, okay?
I turned
Yes.
my camera off because I looked like a zombie. So you can look at Zombie Brian instead.
Hey, it'll be fun. Also, Emma, you have to.
I feel like Brian has this shirt, maybe. But
I'm pretty sure Brian has all your blouses. It's just a shared wardrobe.
I got
Brian's
this
dead.
from eBay.
We've got the V.
eBay.
Ah. I found I'm pretty sure it's gonna be terrible quality, but I found one of Brian's like the exact blouse from Pinterest. I found it on a shop. So I've ordered it.
Oh,
But-
nice!
I
That's
don't know
really
if
cool.
It's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Gonna do it for the
Yeah.
cosplay.
Was it like did it look like it was like a remade version of it?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a Yes style version, but it's the picture they have is exactly the one on Pinterest. It's like got a diagonal like button up around the neck. It's pretty nice.
I know that one.
Oh,
Yeah, you know that
send me the picture.
I
feel
will
like
when I
know
find
the
it
one
again.
on my aesthetic
It's
board.
the one I referenced for Brian's book design costume for his blouse. The collar is like exactly the same.
So
So it's pretty, hopefully. Probably be really ugly when I get it, but the pitch is pretty.
What I like about this is if I want to that, and then like that, and now it's weird color. Like it's a weird.
You've
no,
transformed from Brian into Neff now.
Hey,
Oh,
Brian
no.
butts up sometimes.
Hang on, I want to go charge my iPad to show you this thing. I want to show you the thing.
Show us the thing.
I want
I'm gonna head off now.
Alright.
Okay.
Thanks for joining, Quinny. Looking forward to seeing you in 2
Thank
weeks.
you.
Good luck.
Bye.
Have fun. Bye.
Bye.
Oh. And you
I
know
don't
what?
how much longer I'll stay on for.
I'm gonna. Oh no! Did Aylin leave? Aylin left. Okay. Well, I'm gonna
Oh,
call the
he'll come
recording
back.
here. So thank you to everybody who watched on wherever this ends up being uploaded. Appreciate you heaps. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time from whenever this gets uploaded. Okay.